Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to another episode of Probing the Many. Today we're talking about a surprise of a series. I was fully expecting to do Houston. You know, I was fully expecting to do Houston because they played Torbjorn, and I was like, oh, that would be fun to do. But no. No. What we'll be doing, and I'll chat saying hello, Sty, because I almost went into, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Josh. Which is always fun to say, because I imagine someone watching the video and it's like, wait, what's going on? And then they hear Josh and he goes, oh, fuck this, and then they quit, which I'm pretty sure some people do when I'm on the Unit Lost channel, and it's hilarious. Sometimes, like, I'll see tweets, because Sty will include me in the tweets, and some people will occasionally reply, oh, where you got videos with Josh? You don't like Josh? It's like, screw you. Meh. Anyway, right, holy hell, ladies and gentlemen, let's focus. So I needed to be up early, right, yesterday, and I was like, it's Dragons, Fusion seem to be doing okay, whatever, I'll just go to bed, get an early night, sleep up. Turns out I shouldn't have done that. So I kind of, I half-watched it, like I half-watch a lot of games. I'm generally doing something else on the side, so I'll be keeping an eye on the series, and then it'll be like, oh, that's really good, and then I'll start watching the series more focused when the series kind of proves itself. That's kind of how I look at the series. I'm a little bit yellow, by the way, because the screen is like all orange and red. Sam's got a gorgeous shirt as well. But yeah, Shanghai, apparently they can perform. Who knew? Dia is the man of the hour in my mind. And this was something that I was really concerned with when Shanghai lost Dia for a little while. He had to go back to China for personal reasons. Yeah, they lost him for a little while. And Dia in the preseason was a monster. Like, he was the shining light of the Shanghai Dragons. He was the one that you sort of had your eye on going, this guy's good. This guy's really good. Undead was kind of there, but Dia was the one that was like, ooh, yeah, this guy can play Overwatch. And so when they lost him for a while, it was like, yeah, there's no real big surprise. And then they brought in all the new players. It's like, okay, well, no one expects Shanghai Dragons to perform, especially this stage, right? They brought in all these new players, but they need to acclimatize. They basically have like a bilingual team where they're speaking two separate languages, like Korean and Chinese. They're slowly going to be integrating into that team, figuring out how they're going to communicate properly. I'm sure some of that has worked out. I'm sure some of that has already worked out, but it's a slow process, right? It's not going to be like overnight that they're going to have flawless communication. It's going to be a slow development. Now then, as the gates open, let's start off with a little bit of team compage. Nothing too surprising on either side, to be honest. Interesting to see EQO on the Junkrat, on the Spam Rat, but otherwise, not too surprising. Also, Fraggy going to be playing from the low ground. No fancy Maywall action here. Steal your mind. Hey, 17 months. Interrupt all you like, friend, for 17 months. Good lord. So shiny as well. Why is there a bunch of stars on it? I don't know. Anyway, so it's an interesting little startup position at the moment. Genji, Widowmaker on offense, not too surprising. Looks like they're just going to go aggressive. Again, like Grigori seems a little bit lonely there. Not too surprising of an early pick as well, coming out of Carpe. One of the scariest Widowmakers in the league. I think, actually, I think it was Captain Planet that put the statistics out there of like Widow versus Widow, pure Widow versus Widow. I might actually find that, because that's actually worth talking about. Just before we even get into the series too much, because Widow versus Widow is like such a big deal. Let's see. Also, did I tweet? Did I actually put this tweet out? I think I did. Oh well. I'll find out soon enough. If I didn't, then whatever. I don't care. Okay. Let's see. As everyone is also changing their profile pictures to harsher. So if you aren't aware of who Captain Planet is, Ben Troutman, he does all the statistics. You see this cute little statistic behind my head? He's the one who writes all of those, and he does like a lot of statistical analysis. But he did I think it was him that did like the Widowmaker stuff. But maybe I'm wrong, or maybe it's too far back. There it is. Okay. So this is his little data analysis thing. Updated Widow versus Widow ranking. So this is purely Widow versus Widow. How many kills the Widow? How many times the player has killed Widowmaker? How many times the player has died to Widowmaker? Really cool statistics, right? Really cool statistics, because this is fascinating, because it shows like they have a ratio as well. So like the higher this ratio, the better. Flatter barely ever dies. Barely dies to Widows. Now, he might be dying to other things, but he barely dies to Widow. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. Seiya player, way more kills, a couple more deaths, but tons of kills. Interesting that it's like Seiya player as well. It's like, it's not a name you expect up there. Like, if you look for Lynx, Lynx is like all the way down here as a negative ratio. But yeah, it's still regarded as one of the best in the league. Carpe, negative ratio. Birdring's barely played stage 3, so whatever. And then, you know, you start getting into, like, dubious territory, and then you start getting into, like, Hureg, AKM. Like, these are good players, but these are teams that have been losing, so it's not too surprising to see them doing quite badly on the statistics overall. So then, does this guy count, or is there an API? I think he's counting manually in this case, but there is an API that he has access to. Like this is not unfamiliar with Captain Planet. He does a lot of manual data collection. He used to do tons of it before he got a job at the Overwatch League, for example. Oh yeah, I find this really, really interesting statistically. This isn't to say, and what you don't take from this data set is, oh, this just means that Fleta is the #1 in the league, right? There's a lot of different circumstances, but what it does support is that Fleta is goddamn scary. Because there is I would say there is a correlation between teams that are losing being further down here and teams that are winning being further up here. Seoul is a team that is losing, right? Seoul is losing. But Fleta is still ridiculously high. So Fleta tends not to die to Widowmakers. Might die to other things, doesn't really die to Widowmakers. I'd say like part of it is because Carpe and Lynxer in particular like take Widow battles really aggressively as well. So it's also, it like filters into playstyles. Again, statistics, tricky. Very, very tricky. Also, is that tweet still preloaded? Yeah, then we'll send that out. Beautiful. Right. Also, I was very happy to see, by the way, just quickly glancing at Twitter, that Dodger and Sam Strippen have had their baby. Well, Dodger's had the baby. Sam sort of watched, I imagine. But yeah, it's kind of a pleasant thing to see. Those two seem like a lovely couple. Seem like lovely people. Right. Otherwise, Temple of Anubis, pretty standard so far. Shanghai just playing dive. Fusion playing pretty far forward. Like, I'd say this is a greedy position. A little bit vulnerable, perhaps, to the dive overall. Surprising kill coming out there, but this is just the advantage of, you know, just bursting the shit out of an Orisa barrier. Right place, right time, shots land, Carpe's dead. Gonna be tricky to even res that one as well. Looks like they're gonna go for it. Neptuno tries for it. Fearless just walks right into a trap as well. Fraggy in a lot of trouble. Fraggy not dying, though. This is the shit that worries me with Shanghai Dragons, which is, like, people get super low. But the follow-up just isn't there. Like, if you watch Poco, Fraggy, like, look at Fraggy. Surely this should be called out. And this, again, could be, like, the communication issues. But this surely should be called out. This surely should be, like, kill that man. Kill that man. He needs to die. It just doesn't seem quite as smooth as perhaps it needs to be. Some spicy kills out of EQO. Again, what is with Shanghai Dragons is just like blundering into these traps as well. That's a very nice win for Fusion. Getting that Transcendence is big. There we go. Like that was actually a very, very big thing because one of the big factors with Anubis, like they know they're gonna lose this fight at this point. Fusion know they're gonna lose it. Forcing the enemy Transcendence makes it so much harder to get the snowball from first to second. So much harder to do. So that's a really big deal. The nice thing about Philly as well is like Carpe just needs to change over. Hey, Judo Punch, thank you so much. Thanks for the support. It's a beautiful use of that Twitch Prime. Ding. Yeah, like Carpe just has to swap over to the Tracer, and they already have a decent comp for Phase 2. Like they already have a decent comp for B with the Junkrat. Like Dia probably needs to swap off this Widow. He's probably going to build up to an Infrasight, use it. That happens. Honestly, it's actually not that bad of a situation. Why is it not that bad of a situation? He goes in, and it's like damage is coming out, pressure, and Boombox ults. And I think Boombox was expecting the ultimate here. Joker27, thank you as well. See, beautiful use of Twitch Prime. Appreciated, very appreciated. But they've used the Transcendence. So if Shanghai just lose this fight now, if they do manage this properly, just lose this fight and re-engage with the ulti, they're in a really good position. Dia remains a sick Widow. Love it. But yeah, it's going to be respawned by the time it's done. Boombox, being Boombox. So yeah, I think Boombox just gets a little bit flustered here. Like, this has actually generally been a weakness of Boomboxes. Oh no, that's just him killing people, apparently. That's actually a strength of Boomboxes. But a weakness of Boomboxes generally have been, like, his transcendences can be a little bit panicky at times. Like, you can use them a little bit too early, and that might be something that's exploitable, for example. With Shanghai, they should be feeling okay here. The Riptire could be a big factor here from EQO. EQO needs to just land it, but yeah, it's no surprise to see the Dragon Blade come out, them go super deep, straight onto EQO, back out. This is going to be like a difficult thing because they don't really get too much value off the back of that. Jesus, that's sloppy. Like, I would have liked to have seen, perhaps, I would like to see this come out a little bit later, just force the fight on the point, because like, Philadelphia they know this Dragon Blade is coming. They know this is going to happen. Boombox knew the moment he ulted that it's going to be, oh, they're going to come in with the Dragon Blade next push. This is why Philadelphia are playing so far back, right? They have to play around this space over here because they know that the threat of the Dragon Blade is such that they have to run back to spawn to survive it, right? They can't afford to fight on spawn. So if Shanghai just fight on spawn, wait for a good opportunity, and then ult, could work a little bit better. The scary thing there is that EQO will probably just ult the moment they get to spawn, maybe get a kill or two with a Riptire. And Riptire is so consistent that it's dicey. But I think the alternative is you have a Dragon Blade that is a little bit shaky. Dia swap into the McCree. By the way, that McCree Widowmaker sort of playstyle, that's very much where I want to aim next season. Widow McCree. Like, that's basically the playstyle is kind of inspired by that. The sort of the Hureg style. Maybe a touch of Tracer. We'll see. Otherwise, yeah, welcome to Anubis, and this is where it gets tricky because now Philadelphia. Like I said, Philadelphia. I meant to say Philly, and then went full Philadelphia. Well, full Philadelphia. Numpty. So Pine, yeah, Pine, like that kind of playstyle. I've always had a great affection for Hitscan, though. No, that's not unknown. Right. So this is where it gets difficult, because anything that Shanghai do, any momentum that Shanghai get, can instantly be countered by Boombox. And sure, there's been a desync, although no, I do swapped. I know it's meant to be Addo, but I keep wanting to say, like, not much ado about nothing. Yeah, I'm not sure about swapping to the Tracer, actually. I mean, it's powerful, but you've already desynced with the ults. Maybe you want to keep that Dragon Blade. But then, she's Tracer. She's powerful. Pulse Bomb is a good ultimate. Wasn't sure about the Deadeye either. But this is so difficult for Shanghai now. They need to get a good engage here, and the issue is this. They need to engage, survive the Riptire, and then use Transcendence to win a fight. Like, that needs to happen, basically. And they don't have, like, a solid win condition, while Philadelphia can just play relatively slow. Wait for the Riptire, use the Riptire, translate it into at least a kill. That's a really good start. Really good start. Stick on to the Winston. I think Fearless is fine. Yep, Fearless is going to be okay. Okay, no, this is going well for Shanghai. And now they just need to engage. Use Transcendence and engage. Sky even disarms the Junkrat trap. What a gentleman. But then everyone just dies anyway. It's going to happen when your DPS dies. This is one of the disadvantages with McCree, is a bitch to survive D.Va bombs with, because you don't have any fancy movement ability, so you just end up stuck out in the middle of nowhere and dying. A little bit of teabagging. That act. Let's talk about the PR meta, okay? That act sparked so much drama on Twitter the last night. If I go to Mitch's, I know, like, we're being Twitter watched at the moment. All right, Mitch, who's also harsher. So much drama. You know, whether it's in the Overwatch League, another esports demoing a game to the press players, teabagging other players in video games is the biggest non-issue so far this year. Some people aren't fit for competitive gaming. Yeah, like, a lot of people, like, because I think Mitch was one of the first people to tweet out about this, and this is an attitude I actually kind of agree with. Right, this is sort of the source of the drama, which is, the hell should we go so easy on Shanghai Dragons? They want to be treated like any other team in the Overwatch League, and in Carpe's case, that means they get the Twinings dropped on them. Twinings, by the way, is a brand of tea. Boo him, he won't mind being the villain, just don't start telling me that behavior should be eliminated. Now, in my mind, this comes from sort of some different places, right? Personally, I am in agreement with Mitch. I think that teabagging is... Don't get me wrong, teabagging is unsportsmanlike, but it's BMing. It's just like, it's insulting, and it's meant to be insulting. Boo him, make him the villain, make him the bad boy, whatever. I don't mind it, okay? I'm not overly objectioning to it, especially if you are, like, styling on the enemy, teabag away, okay? The issue that some people have is the idea of teabagging, as in, like, just the nature of teabagging, or as being, like, an innately sexual act, right? Because of the name, because of what it's implying. Oh, I'm dunking my balls on your face, lol. In my mind, it's just more of, like, an insulting gesture. Like, that's all it is in game. It's an insulting gesture. But because it has this connotation, some people find it super offensive. Like, it's being equated with stuff that it probably shouldn't be equated with. So in my mind, it's like, if he's going to teabag, he's going to teabag. Now, I do agree that Overwatch League should make it clear. Like, Overwatch League has fined people for saying insulting things on stream, although I'd say that argument is a little bit disingenuous, because the insulting things that have been said on stream have usually been heavily racist, or, well, at least somewhat racist, or somewhat homophobic and stuff like that, so that's why those fines are coming through. This is just insulting, right? And it's just saying, I'm better than you. Like, that's all it's saying. It's like, I'm better than you, haha, let me mock you a little bit. Like, in my mind, like, I would honestly, I prefer them to use, like, an emote or something, because I think that's just a little bit cooler and a little bit classier, but I don't mind it too much. I honestly don't mind it too much. But so many people got very upset about the teabagging itself, and then some of the responses from the Overwatch League personalities saying, like, no, we think teabagging is fine. In many professional sports, that level of BM gets you fined. If esports wants to be taken seriously, they need to take themselves seriously too. My issue with that argument is that esports is a different beast than professional sports, and professional sports and esports, like, the equating and, like, the idea that, oh, esports needs to be on the same plateau as professional sports, it kind of doesn't. I think that mentality has shifted away. Like, esports can be its own beast and be its own thing. I also would say that, like, there are ways to insult your opponents in professional sports. And, like, the abuse you hear shouted on a football pitch or a rugby pitch, with the acts you see, no, there's stuff like teabagging. It might not be quite as visible or public, but it still happens. Insults still occur. It's a very good start to the fight. Fraggy can't be res there as well, but this is, like, Riptire is just such a disgusting ultimate. This is going to be super difficult. Hey, Delius, thank you. That's a bold statement. That's a very bold statement that I don't entirely agree with. I'm assuming it's a meme of some sort. I'm not...
People who subscribe to @OneAmongstMany are braver than any US Marine.
That's one hell of a statement. Not one I technically would agree with, but thank you so much for the tier 3 support. Don't worry, it's a meme. I panic. I worry. Because I know Americans take the military very seriously. It's like, is this man preaching to his subs that he's brave somehow? Like, remember the days when Riptire was scrub tier? Yes, I do. And I remember saying that if you buff Riptire, it would be hellish, because it builds so quickly and it's so easy to get. I know there's We All Hate Leeds chant in Super League. In audience participation? Okay. There's a team in Super League called Warrington Wolves. Right? And they have a chant for their team, and it goes, hey, worry, 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 Warrington. Right? That's the chant. Okay? It's pretty simple. Most rugby chants are. Crowds adopt that and turn it against the team by going, hey, wanky, 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 Warrington, right? And just take the piss out of the team. There's a moth. Oh, God, it's gone nuts because I've hit it. Right, so, like, trust me, crowds are worse than players will ever be. Right. Here we go. Focusing back on the Mothra invasion. Seriously, this thing was huge. Beautiful pulse bomb. Just delicious out of Carpe. Phenomenally good play. it feels like this is why I didn't stay out to watch the end of the series, because if you watch this is like standard. You know, this feels standard between Shanghai and kind of any other team. Dia's had his moments. They've had some okay plays, but in general, they're just being outpunched consistently. I hear there is a chant during Six Nations as one of Rubbish Island always cheating. Probably sounds about right. Because most League fans don't have the vocabulary for reverse. Probably true, to be honest. What was the... Wait, sorry, I'm going back because I saw something phenomenal. Oh, good stretch. Oh, good stretch on that guy. Nice, lovely. Okay. Some football chants can be really bad. Look, some football crowds can be really bad. Like, some of them are really good, some of them are really bad. Like, bad as in racist or just horrible. Some of them are really good. And they're a lot better than, let's go, insert name here. Let's go, insert name here. Which is like the default chant for anything. Don't you mean soccer, lol? No, I mean football. I mean the one played with feet. And a ball. Okay. Interesting dive defense coming out of Shanghai, especially considering they're playing against, you know, a team with a terrifying Widowmaker player. But with EQO there, hey, they're going to be playing the Genji. Dive on dive, pound for pound, this should be Shanghai's. Like, this should so easily be Shanghai's. Nice slow start. A lot of focus going on the tanks at the moment, actually. Grigori taking a lot of damage, Fearless getting a lot of damage as well. But this is burning cooldowns. Like, this is burning resources away. Very slow start from Philly, but this is honestly, like, they can afford to take this. They can afford to do this, because Philadelphia, basically for nothing, have taken up to, like, up here. You know, this high ground? They've taken control of this entire space up to the bridge. They can't go past the bridge, but they have control of everything else, okay? So they're set up now for a single dive onto the point. You know, no matter where they go, they can touch anything, reach anything, and then just fight normally. So, like, Shanghai have given up a lot of space here. Just sort of very hesitantly, and Carpe, yeah, he's just going to take an opportunity. Like, if he can find a target, he's gonna kill it. Counter dive comes through, EQO plays more on the point, Shanghai end up winning the fight. So basically, Philadelphia counted the chickens before they hatched. They made a chicken out of a feather. Because they get the pick and it's like, okay, go, 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 go on the point. And then Shanghai just like dive their backline, kill everyone, and then just go back and clean. Like EQO is just going, guys, everyone's dead. So yeah, a little bit overeager there. England versus Russia, where the English fans threw chairs at the Russians, then claimed the Russians were violent. Russian football hooligans are terrifying. In the English fans' defense, Russians take football hooliganism to a next level, and it's like they are generally antagonistic and frightening. So yeah, ooh, this is a really good start from Dia, and like Dia continues to impress, by the way. Also, hey, what do you know? Fraggy getting called out. Like, Adu isn't even in this fight. He's not involved in this fight at all. It's literally just Dia, Grigori, and Fearless. Ado, I keep wanting to say Adu, is just on the point. No worries. Easy follow-up as well. Grigori just runs someone over. They've used, like, Philadelphia have used Valkyrie, but they're just dying. Clean. Clean out of Shanghai. I feel like that might not have been caused by not respecting Shanghai enough. Maybe, but like, I mean, if any team's gonna do it, it's probably Fusion. Like, they seem the type. But Shanghai are playing pretty well here. Like, they're ahead in ultimate economy, but neither team have really committed ults to this, and so this fight is where it really matters. But I imagine Philadelphia wanted to have this point by now. Like, most teams can do this in 1 or 2 attacks. EQO is in a lot of trouble here. Will survive. That's a big kill. Diva Bomb gets used. Diva Bomb's been an ult that's actually become more and more tactical in its use. This doesn't strike me as a particularly tactical use of it, but this is just a, oh shit, we need some breathing room, so let's use this ultimate and try and maybe get someone. But you're actually seeing Diva Bombs these days being used in a really kind of cunning way, where if you know where the supports are, so let's say you're playing Diva and you know where their supports are, you'll see Divas launch the bomb at the supports as a dive goes into engage. And it's not just sort of, you know, it's somewhat to cover the dive, but it also means it's very difficult, for example, for tanks to come back and try and peel, because the bomb will land. Sometimes what you'll see happen as a result, like London did this, apparently, Susie Kim tweeted out that this was actually intentionally done by Fury, where players have started realizing this happens, right? That you throw the bomb to cover and engage. Okay, fair enough, pretty standard. What Fury did was he saw the bomb get thrown in, so he threw his own bomb at that bomb, so that as the because he knew that it was going to herald the sign of a dive engaging, and so it catches the dive as it engages on the supports, and killed them. And so it's like, that is next level, right? It's reading, hey, you're doing this play to cover this action, so I'm going to do this play to counter that action. And it's one of those insane things where it's just two diva bombs getting thrown in the same place, but it results in counteracting a dive, because you know that the diva bomb's countering the assault, so you know where the assault's going, so you can counter it. Really cool, really cool. I think that's really cool. So the nukes collided. It's more that the nuke is there to let the engagement work, right? To let the dive work. And so it kind of heralds the dive is going in and it's going to this position. So then you throw your bomb at where it's going and you will kill it. Don't do that on ladder, because the enemy diva has probably just gone, Q, and it's just throwing a bomb at random. So don't do that on ladder. Interesting change from Sky. It's gone to the Sombra. Faster run back, basically. Faster roll out, wants to get to the point. Touch it, nice and close. Dragonblade plus Mercy. Very, very interesting little fight here. Very interesting little scrap. So this is a combo that, you know, I was recently enlightened to, which is basically like the Mercy Blade, the Valkyrie Blade. Just poor use of resources is what I'd say. Like, EQO's got his blade out, Adu's got his blade out, and then EQO just has the deflect up at the right time. Yeah, it's down on cooldown. So, like, Adu is just hitting into a deflecting Genji. Mistimes the swipe. EQO comes out of it and just swipes and kills him. Yeah. Dia is just killing everyone. Like, Dia is good. You know, this is what makes me sad about Shanghai at times. And I said this before. I believe I said this during preseason. Like, Dia you could put on another team and he'd be great. If you can get both supports at points during this fight, but still don't win, might be because EQO was just pushed on the back foot as well. Also, it feels like Carpe was just very quiet in that fight. Shutting Dia down is going to be a big deal here, because Dia has been carrying this team. So if you kill Dia, you're in a really good position. And this is where it gets awkward for Shanghai, because surely you don't keep the Sombra. Please don't keep the Sombra. Please don't try and play this without a Zen. Thank you. Oh, thank God. Although they're still probably going to end up... 2 support ultimates, Dragonblade coming online, Diva Bomb coming online. There is no reason... If Philadelphia lose this fight, they are fucking up. Like, they are so ahead in the economy. Just engage with the trance. They don't even need to use the blade yet. They might just be holding on to it, although I don't know why you'd hold on to it. I mean, he's going to wait out the Valkyrie and then probably go for it, but... This does feel like disrespect. How do you feel about Shanghai Dragon's tank core? I feel like the Fearless Gegurika core is stronger than what they had before. Yes. I mean, that's no surprise. Like, Shanghai had a lot of weaknesses. And I think this altering Sky support lineup is a lot stronger than, you know, Free Feed. Free Feed was just not good, basically. Okay. I think the fight losing moment is just boomboxing. Like, they engage with Transcendence, and this is sort of one of my pet peeves, but it's like, you engage with Trance, and then you just don't convert into anything. So Trance gets used, and it's like, okay. Altering ults, they get a kill. Not bad. But, like, why are they so timid? Like, they're still, you know, you used their Transcendence. Why are you still on this bridge? Why are you still pissing about on the bridge? Surely you want to be on the point by now. And then Dragons just takes initiative because they know that there's nothing going to be stopping him. Did I accidentally slow it down? Yeah, I did. That felt slow. There we go. So yeah, they just, maybe they're misreading what Shanghai Dragons have in terms of ults. I don't know. It's like EQO just needed to press the button there, or they just needed to go deep. They get a kill and just like go, oh, we're scared. So I'm not sure what happened there. Altering in a huge amount of trouble, cleaned up. Like again, this is weird out of Philadelphia because like if any team has that killer instinct and like that killer dive instinct, it's Philadelphia. But it's like, why are they playing it so slow? It's like they want to do this without the Dragon Blade or something.
Welcome
then Dragon
to
Blade's
Overwatch, silly.
Thank you, Sluggy, by the way. Just a clean sub as well. Thank you so much for doing that, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you on board. This is puzzling. So apparently EQO has a tweet. I'm gonna try and find it. I mean, EQO is a cocky little shit. I feel happy saying that. I think he knows it as well. No hate, by the way, mad respect for Shanghai. They played amazing. We still have a lot to work on, but yeah, it's... I don't know, this just feels weird. Like, this doesn't feel like what you would expect out of these players, basically. That he's just holding on to the Dragon Blade, and if he is trying to do this to be styling or something, it's like... Yeah. Perhaps they forgot that Sky swapped to Sombra, and they thought he still has Trance. I don't think so. I can't imagine a team of this caliber making that mistake. If they did make that mistake, then that's just embarrassing. I mean, that, like, what happened there was just embarrassing in general. And now they should just be able to clean this up anyway. Because even though the Dragon Blade got nothing, Boombox got himself an ultimate and just they used Trance and actually converted it into kills this time. There we go. So one before that, do you mean the debated? Whoop. I don't know. I don't know that that's necessarily BM. Right. Skip forward, skip forward. Blizzard World. Time for Blizzard World. Carpe. Like this is what makes me think that it's like BM, because it's like Carpe was unusually passive during that. 0 deaths. 0. We suggest that, you know, he might not just be taking enough risks. Like, that shouldn't happen. 30-3, 19-6. Rough. I mean, Divas you expect to have low death counts anyway, but... There we go. Keep forward, keep going forward. Oh. Oh, they're playing AZM Dunk, apparently. Asmodeus Dunk. Asmo Dunk. I see. Carpe didn't die once, apparently. Fearless blows himself up in spawn, as you do. Junkrat Tracer. Interesting to see no Widow coming out. Dive coming out from Shanghai, keeping it simple. Keeping it straightforward. So yeah, Gaguri's just covering, trying to protect the supports, cover the entrance, get people in position, try and move forward, set up for a dive towards the back line. He's going to pressure EQO out. He can't stay there anymore, has to back away. Adu also in a lot of trouble, will survive. Poco actually in a lot of trouble though. Jesus! Just, like, again, this kind of smacks of disrespect. Just relatively aggressive, but the supports are there to keep him up, and then Poco just gets, like, he used his boosts, so Poco is just dead. Like, the moment he uses that cooldown, there's no surviving. So yeah, Shanghai just turn around and kill him. No problem. Boombox gonna get knocked off, or just killed. That was just bad defense from Philly. Like, Philly fought frontline to frontline with dive, and then just overextended for no reason. Like, Poco just went in for a kill without having other people with him. It's like 2 supports are healing a Genji. It's gonna be fine. And it's weird to see Philadelphia play dive badly. Right? That's weird. That's uncharacteristic. What do you think the weaknesses are for Dragons now? It does feel like they have leveled up quite a lot, and are closer to being... They are closer, but they are not quite there. I think the weaknesses they have are still just remains in like communication and decision-making overall. They're just behind where other teams are, because they're trying to get past the language barrier. And also, like... general skill levels are still not quite the same level as some of their other teammates. But this just looks sloppy out of Fusion. Yep. Blade for Trance, honestly, not the end of the world. For either side. And especially because, like, you're already winning, so hey, you get their Transcendence out, that's one of their lifelines. The only downside to this is that Shanghai haven't been moving the cart too much, but they are now, which is nice. So hey. If you look at Shanghai's HP, they're taking almost 0 damage. It's a good point. Like, it just feels like very poor focus. Free feed lives up to his name. I do think the support lineup in general is still like the weakness overall. But yeah, I mean, there's a trance happening, but there's literally no damage coming out. And here's the thing, right? If you're styling on people, then it's one thing. If, like, you know, if you're fighting an enemy and you start like, oh yeah, we're gonna play with one hand, lol. Like, I'm okay with that. The issue is if you're styling on people and you're looking bad, because that's all Philadelphia look at this point. Do you think having a team that can't win a single game is bad for the league? Yes. Very bad for the league. Especially considering how much the league slots cost and how many people want to be in the league. Yes, it's absolutely bad. Like, it needs fixing. The issue is the league can't really do anything about it other than put pressure on Shanghai to, like, improve. Because the only thing that, like, I imagine the league does have a clause saying, like, you have to field competent teams. But surely Shanghai paid a lot of money for this slot, you know? They want the team to do well. And so did Dallas. Dallas probably paid more for a team than any other, considering the players. Like, those are probably some very expensive contracts, considering you got some some big personalities on that team. So yeah. But Dallas are on the reform. They've changed up a lot of how the team works and a lot of how it's structured. So they're going through the same thing. But I mean, this just makes Philadelphia look bad. Like, this is weird because it makes Philadelphia look like they can't play dive very well. Like, they're all just going on individual targets. There's no clear shot calling, and it's like, no team wants to be the team to lose to Shanghai, right? No team wants to be the team that gives Shanghai their first win. It'll feel embarrassing. And this is how you do it, though. This is like the first, hey, like, this is cognizantly good Overwatch, basically. It's pretty simplistic. They don't have ults. You isolate, like, Zenyatta is isolated. Okay, dive Zen, kill Zen. Fraggy just comes in from behind with EQO, Dragon Blade, and free kill. Some good tanking out of Fearless, though. Manages to kill Neptuno and bounces EQO out, so only one death. Yeah, Boombox gets cleanup. This should set Adu up. He should feel good about this. And like they can go in with a Trance Blade and just clean it up. We pay millions for this slot. You cannot tell me that I cannot play Hanzo, or I mean crap teams. You pay millions for it. You have the slot, but if the slot makes the team look bad, the league look bad, then. And the issue I have is this, right? No matter what, Blizzard will pay minimum $50,000 salaries, right, to players. So if you go to contenders and find a solid team and just get 12 solid contenders players and just whack them all on a team, you will get probably better results than what Shanghai Dragons are producing. Shanghai Dragons is an anomaly and were formed under... It's China, guys. It's like money makes the world go round, and China is no exception. And there's long been suspicions over the formation of Shanghai Dragons not being the best options for a Chinese team. And yeah, it's a shame, basically. Free Feel, again, continuing to live up to his nickname. I mean, part of it is isolation, but Kaguri's, like, in general, has been pretty solid about trying to protect supports. It's just Free Feel is a little bit too far back and just gets picked off by, well, basically gets picked off for free. Carpe gonna bounce around the side. This is a cute little flank. This reminds me a lot of Hanamura, where the Tracer will just continually, like, rotate behind the enemy. Spot Dia out. No transfer, no recall, so they could do something, but just gonna leave him instead. Wouldn't surprise me to see this bomb go for Free Feel, or just shots go for it anyway. Like they're pressuring Free Feel. Okay, good. Transcendence comes out. By the time EQO is dead, that's not good. EQO needed to not die. Now, Philadelphia just need to play passive. They can use the trance just to do that. Okay, EQO respawns, comes out, Dragon Blades wins. Fearless needs to tank this. Needs to tank this exceptionally well, but... It's a beauty of a Diva Bomb. I mean, it's not that complex of a Diva Bomb, but it's a beautiful one. Froggy's on no hit points, dies to Dia. Poco's on no hit points, dying. Everyone's zoned off by the Diva Bomb. What's Carpe doing? See, this in my mind is how you answer teabagging. This is how you answer teabagging. It's like, oh, okay, you just lost in a really embarrassing fucking fashion. Teabag that, you know? Because that was embarrassing as hell. Nice, very nice bomb at the end to cap it off. Just very difficult to continue to contest the point at that moment. At that point. But yeah, like Philadelphia just look shaken. They just look. Ugh, it looks rough. It looks rough. This isn't the Philadelphia that we're used to. This isn't the Philadelphia that was like super dominant in stage 2. Dio gonna be on the Junkrat? Adu on the Tracer? Is this where they are? Wait! I remember this moment because Hex says something monumentally stupid.
Keep it in line. What? Trains don't have wheels either. They're on tracks.
Trains don't have wheels either, and they're on tracks. Hexagrams, 2018. Just, I think he knew the moment he said it as well. He was just like, "What did I just say? What did I just say?" It's like, Hex, are you okay? Are you all right there, friend? Also, the wheels could be on the inside. Okay, the wheels could just be moving it along the track. Anyway, right. There's two sort of, or, well, three different paths you can take on this map. This is one of them, and this is not non-standard for dive. Basically, you just take control of the journey to Duskwood, go around the back, and that sets you up for a strong little push on the high ground over here. Right, pretty simple. The other thing you can do is you can try and just go from here and just ingress, or you can go through Snaxramus. Right, one of my favorite things about Blizzard World is the fact that it's goddamn like got place names everywhere, so it's so easy to make callouts. Because this is the journey to Duskwood. And cool, this is Duskwood. You have Snaxramus. It's like, it's so easy, right? It's so easy. Gate, like we're at Gate. Siege Tank, you know, it's so good. As Gaguri just kills both supports. What the... Like, we're on board with Poco at the moment. Poco, what are you doing? I think Boomwatch just takes a nade. So what Poco's doing here, like, this isn't incorrect diva play, right? This is one of the ways you can peel, and you see good divas doing this. If you are a diva player, this is a skill worth learning. You see a Winston engage, you fly in and you just bump them, and you're pushing the Winston out the way. The key, though, is to then get to your supports and protect them with Defense Matrix. Which is, looks like it's what he's trying to do, but the supports just end up isolated, dove on, and killed. Gaguri gets DMAxed. Sucks a little bit for Gaguri. She could just throw herself off into the icy waters of the lake. I love that trap placement from Dia. If they want to go that way, then sure. So yeah, Boombox just puts himself in a corner, and then Neptuno flies into it. Okay. Don't put yourself in a corner, guys. Nobody puts Boombox in a corner except for himself, apparently.
Welcome to Overwatch.
Hey, Rumpeldumple. 10 months. Thank you, Rumpeldumple. Again, very appreciated. Freefeel actually getting a kill. Hey, Freefeel, you're doing it. I don't want to bully, but there's so many good Zenyatas in the world. So many good Zenyatas in the world. So Boombox gets a kill, gets killed, fair enough, okay. How do Philly actually prioritize on this? They're on the back foot, to be honest, because losing their Zen is always a big deal. Neptuno gets the res off, but they just get stuck. They get stuck in, what is this place called? Foggerdeep. They get stuck in Foggerdeep, guys. This is just good this is just good capitalization by Shanghai. They don't even need to use the Riptide. They might need to use it now. So Dia's just going to back off, probably, and just open up with the Riptide. There it goes. Now Philadelphia have to, like, scramble, because there's a lot of good angles on this map. Transcendence gets used by Freefeel. Not entirely sure why. Freefeel actually picking up a pile of kills, but I'm not sure on this Transcendence. Like, you're already zoning them out. One of your DPS is dead. He just uses it. This is a weird trance. I don't understand this trance. Because Dia is currently on the back foot and, like, is hiding. Adu is dead. Maybe to res? But hey. How do you feel about the casting in Overwatch League? It's superb in general. Was to heal Fearless? Fuck him. You can res him. If Fearless jumps out, he's low, he's getting healed. And then he ults to... The thing is, the moment this, like, and this is where communication comes in, right? The moment you hear the fire in the hole, Philadelphia are on the back foot. Philadelphia are going to back away. They don't want to be anywhere near, like, any of the walls over here because they know that a Riptide can just come up and over it. No problem. So they're going to back off and they're going to be scared. So it just feels, ugh. And, like, worst case, honestly, worst case is that Fearless dies. Philadelphia may lose 1 or 2. If Philly just engage, then you ult and Altering can res Fearless. No problem. Like, you have so many options. It just feels a little bit panicky. But yeah, on casting in the Overwatch League, it's superb in general. Like, people are bitches in general, and don't understand how hard it is to cast Overwatch. The standard of casting in Overwatch League is all pretty superb. All three casting pairs have their own unique flavor and their own unique style. I definitely still, like, I agree with the common consensus that Uber is probably the best one out of the bunch, but Uber is his own beast. Like, Uber, X, Hex, and Semler, like, they all do their own thing. Hex and Semler, in my mind, is like very lighthearted. It's like very easy background listening. You could just listen to them sort of ramble, and Semler is so good at controlling his voice and vocal tone that you know exactly what's going on just by the sound of his voice. You know exactly what's kind of happening. I definitely say out of the pairs, they're the weakest in terms of, like, especially Semler's game knowledge isn't the greatest. Hex is pretty good, but Hex can be a little bit awkward at times. Just in his delivery of it, but in general, like, yeah, I'd say it's superb. Let me put it this way, you'll be hard-pressed to find better casting. Monty and Dora is your favorite duo? A lot of people, like, sometimes I think Monty has really off days. Like, I think, was it yesterday Monty was casting? I think yesterday Monty was really off. I know I listened to a cast of his recently, and it was a little bit sort of, it just felt like his momentum was off, or it felt like Doa was commanding the cast a lot more than he normally does, which is a bit strange, but like they're all solid. They're all absolutely solid. And to say that, like, the casting is bad somehow is ridiculous, I think. Like, I've heard bad Overwatch casting. I've done bad Overwatch casting. My cast today was not stellar. Wasn't the happiest with it. So yeah, it's to me, it's like a very, very weird thing to go, oh yeah, the casting in Overwatch League is so bad. It's really not. It's actually really, really sort of capable. This is interesting from Carpe. Like, EQO, like, they're playing with this fight on the front line, but Dia can see that Carpe's around, and, like, as the shots come in, like, Carpe's just being annoying. And Dia knows that, like, what Dia's trying to do at the moment is he's trying to make a decision and trying to bait Carpe in, because he knows that Carpe, the moment that Dia rolls his mine away, Carpe is going to come in and kill him. So he either keeps the bomb around here, in which case Carpe can just keep poking and just remove the Riptide threat, or he runs the bomb away, in which case Carpe comes in and kills him. So he has to get results with this bomb. Of course, this all relies on Philadelphia winning the fight elsewhere. So he just goes straight for Carpe. Honestly, I think that's the worst decision he could have made, trying to bomb the Tracer directly. I mean, he gets rid of the bomb, so he frees himself up, but yeah, that's basically just a wasted Riptide. I mean, he gets the results for it. Gets EQO with a bomb there, I think, as well. Like, Valkyrie's been used by Shanghai, and they're using it and aggressing. Like, this is basic, but it's functioning. And this is sort of what you want to see out of Shanghai, which is just, like, they've used Valkyrie, they're playing aggressively, getting damage on people, force Philadelphia Fusion back. Philadelphia Fusion have had to wait it out, have wasted a lot of time already, had a pretty slow attack so far, and yeah. We're casting Open Division at Broadcast GG. It was a real stomp of a game, though. Real stomp of a game. The team that we were casting, though, Koeniger, is, like, they looked really good. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. Or is it Koeniger? Fun fact, one of the, I think it was one of the American casters was slightly hesitant on how to pronounce Koeniger. It's like, it's just a German word, don't panic. If you say it right, no one's going to hate you for it. Right. Have you seen the casters casting for NA contenders? I haven't seen too much of it. I mean, you got ZP, isn't it ZP and Jameson? Like, ZP and Jameson are both experienced as hell. And ZP's, like, solid. This is, okay, so this is, like, end of Blizzard World. Oh, God, come on, Twitch. Like, this is just turned into kind of a deathmatch, but Shanghai aren't playing it like a deathmatch. They're playing it like a dive team, which is nice. Like, they're mostly sticking together still. The target focus seems pretty solid overall. A bit of an iffy bomb. Dia's J-Krat. Dia's Junkrat has not been blowing my socks off. Which, ironic, I know. It's ZP and Jameson and some other woman who does not really seem to know the game very well. When will probably the many be next week as of playoffs? Good question. Very good question. We'll figure something out when I know the exact schedule. Yeah, Boombox is just going to keep this push alive. Again, I want to see kills coming out of this time, but it's like this is where I get annoyed with Philly, because it's like, okay, like Trance gets used on both sides. Altering makes the most of this opportunity, gets Fearless back up, and then it's like the first kill that comes out of it is Adu. And it's like, this is not the killer instinct that we generally see out of Philadelphia. EQO is sat on a Dragon Blade at the moment. Draws it out. Valkyrie gets used. There we go. That's what we want to see. That's better, Philly. Can we finish a dinner? You know, can we just clean this one up? Like, time is burning out, and the respawn distance on this point is huge. Well, not huge. It's huge as in it's a huge impact. You can't waste time on this. Etino going to go for a spicy res. Good coverage by Poco as well. Gets the defense matrix up, covers the Mercy, gets the res up, gets Fraggy back. Fraggy can now use Primal Rage, zone people off the point, maybe squeak it in for them. Philadelphia also need the stall to get people back on the point. Beauty of a Diva Bomb as well. Again, very difficult to cover on this map because the payload is so low that the Diva Bombs just explode and you can't use the payload for cover. I learned that very painfully recently. And there we go. That's still, like, Shanghai are ahead because Philadelphia has just been sloppy. Changing to McCree, I like it in this environment. I imagine D is going to stay on that soldier with the attack visor. Why hasn't Philly been running Shadowburn? I imagine it's just a performance thing. Like, I imagine it's mostly a performance thing with those. Like, if you have two players with similar hero pools, it's going to come down to whoever's performing better in scrims. And EQO does have, I think, a slightly bigger hero pool than Shadowburn. But, yeah, it's just going to be whoever they feel is performing better. Aggressive Trance comes out of Shanghai. Like, this isn't a bad idea now that they don't have the Genji, as long as you translate this into kills, which they end up doing. They should not use the visor here. And yeah, now they have a visor. If they can pressure Boombox in the next fight, they are set up in an excellent position. They need to pressure Boombox, though. And Boombox takes a big chunk. Winston goes in, but there's not enough follow-up dive. Giguri seems like a nippy little killer. That's a very nice kill. Like, interestingly enough, like this is good play by Dia. I'd say this is good play by Dia. Philadelphia end up scattering themselves to the winds. Giguri gets a kill. Boombox barely gets Trance in time. And Dia just, like, notices, oh, well, half your team is scattered this way, half your team is scattered that way. I'm just going to stand in the middle, visor, and kill people. Is that visor worth staying on? I'd say yes. Especially if they're running a McCree. Like, they have someone playing Tracer, they don't need to worry too much. So, like, the soldier is pretty good, and the visor is super useful. Yeah, let's not see a repeat. So there goes the McCree, there goes the Moira. Interesting to swap away from the McCree, but hey, they trust in the fact that Giguri is going to actually touch the point. Poco gets demeched, Carpe's in a lot of trouble, Freefield gets the Trance. This is one. This is over. This just feels like poor comms from Philly, more than it, like, if I had to sum up this game, it's like Philly just didn't look like they knew how to play a dive, which is really unusual. They managed to win out the fight regardless, because Boombox is a slayer of men, and so is EQO. Also, this is good by Neptuno. Holy shit, is this good by Neptuno. How does he do this? He uses the momentum from the Guardian Angel to swing himself into this position, and then can poke out and tap the point, and then hide again. And no one is in position to stop him. And then just nips back across, keeps EQO alive. They reinforce, get the kills, and then turn it around. One of the main problems with Seoul right now, everything. Like, they just look weak. Like, they're just playing worse than their opponents. It also, it does feel like Seoul always seem to have this habit of when it comes to, like, the end of a stage, that it feels like they're sort of behind on the meta almost. But, like, I know it could, like, this could just be fatigue. Like, Korean fatigue is a real thing in Overwatch League. So it's like, and because I know, isn't Ryu Jae-hong taking, like, some time off, or took some time off, just pure, not even because of, like, health issues, direct, like, physical health issues. He was just exhausted and just needed to, like, recenter and refocus. Like, it seems to be a very real factor. You said that EQR has better communication than Shadowburn, and that his hero pool is bigger. I know they said that a while ago. I don't know if they said that again recently. I mean, being honest, there's nothing like having two players in a potential pool to encourage competition. Like, I'm hoping that Team UK, whatever we end up with, is going to end up being highly competitive because we have options this year. So, like, Cruz needs to play well because Funny Astro is just waiting to take his spot. Chris needs to play well because Fusions is waiting to take his spot. Like, we have people waiting to just take their spots. Okay, Shanghai just going to play dive. Like, they just need to take a third. Interesting choice, actually. I mean, you have 1 minute 30, so they have 3 pushes. Again, just going to go straight up the middle. Notice that Philadelphia are playing differently. Sure, Korean fatigue, but are you saying it affects some teams more than others? Yes, it definitely does. Different teams have done different things to acclimatize the players and take care of the players. I know Spitfire, for example, Spitfire only very recently splashed out on a team house because the players felt like the players needed somewhere nice to live that was their own little space and was also not just the training room, because they spend most of the time in that training room, and like the training rooms in the Overwatch League building are no bigger than well, they're a bit bigger than my living room, but they're not big rooms, and it's just like filled with about 14 computers, and it's just like bare white walls unless they customize it. I know Philadelphia have like done theirs up a bit, London have done theirs up a little bit, but they could do it up a little bit more, and it's just like a room with just in the middle of a building, in the middle of a studio, no windows, no anything. It's just, it feels like a prison cell. So I imagine that would be driving the players crazy eventually. And this is where like the Western mentality and the Western approach could be helpful, where it's like just valuing free time a bit more, valuing relaxing a little bit more. Because Overwatch League is a marathon, it's not a sprint. You know, Seoul came out the gate swinging, super strong. London did as well. But now we're coming up to like the latter half of the season, and teams are like going, Jesus, this is brutal. This is huge. And so we're almost 3 quarters full, 3 quarters full, 3 quarters of the way through, and it's like, oh god, you know, we got to continue. Like we still have another stage of this, and that stage is where it's really going to matter as well, because teams are going to want to get those playoff slots for the big prize pool. This is weird positioning out of free feel. It feels like Philadelphia, if they find him, he's just going to die. But Philadelphia kind of have, like, they do have to play around the point, so it could kind of work. Because the fight is happening in Snack Ramos, he actually has sightline. Yeah, this is awkward now, because like the amount of time they have left is not much. It doesn't surprise me to see Philadelphia go aggro here and just push as hard as they can. I think Tracer can make it, just about. DM might just be able to touch it. Dude definitely can. Has Dragonblade, will travel. Yeah, Boombox has got it, but Freefeel has it as the counter. Carpe still dies. Again, this is bold, but I like it. Right, this is the Mercy Blade. Right, Valkyrie gets activated just for the damage. Yep. Altering now can just purely damage boost Adu. Easily sets up a kill on Carpe. It's bold, but it works. Sure, Fraggy dies on the point, but like they have to go and fight on the point now. Beauty of a pulse bomb from Dia as well. EQO isn't quite ready on the point. And should be over in a second. I mean, reinforcements should come in here as well in a moment. Poco gonna get bounced off, maybe? No. Diva Bomb. Gigori's gonna... Oh, blows him off the point as well. Jesus. There's one moment during this that I think that really is the mistake. Which I think is actually this moment here. Where EQO peels super hard. EQO runs off to go and get a Riptire off. And just runs off the point. And this leaves Fraggy completely isolated. And so sure, EQO gets the Riptire off, but during this time when the Riptire goes off, like the tanks are taking a hammering. The supports have to run away and like hide, and they only get Fearless out of it as well. Like, he needed better targets than that. And then it's like, by the time he gets back to the point, he's just, like, wandering onto it. But honestly, Philly shouldn't have got to that point. Like, they should not have got to that state. Just jump it forward. Oh, we can get some tips from Fraggy. Proco getting DMX pre-fight? Yeah. Yeah. What happened to you, Poco, as I try and find you? Back up, back up, back up. This is the annoying part about trying to do this from the Twitch player from here. Again, it's Poco doing the same thing he did earlier. It's like exactly the same thing he did earlier. It's like he's on half hit points and he engages. That's really stupid. Maybe he was just trying to boop the Genji off. And he was like, oh, they're not going to touch. And it's like, no, they have Tracer Genji. They're like playing around the idea that, oh, they're not going to touch. Just, that feels really... Ugh. Ugh. Icky. Icky. Some very passionate Chinese man. Whoop. And skip forward, skip forward. Don't get me wrong, I love the desk. There we go. Fraggy plays on 75% render scale. I like how they have to subtitle him as well. And Carpe, very few deaths. Unsurprising. Let's go Nepal. Oh, please. Please. Oh. There we go.
They're good on aggression. I mean, that's how Fraggy plays. Yeah, that's how Fraggy plays. That's how EQO plays. When Snillo comes in, they just go for it.
If Shanghai is sticking with this, then Philadelphia should be able to beat this because I know for a fact that Hayes completely understands this playstyle. So, what you're going to see, probably, is that Shanghai are either going to go straight through here or maybe even through here. They're going to take up position behind the point and then try and play like a poke battle. They're going to leverage the Soldier 76, you leverage that range, and you try and win off the back of that. So they take control of the top of the stairs, and then just shoot the enemy down, use the long range. If Philadelphia try and dive into them without being patient, what ends up happening is they just end up dying because the Soldier 76 healing field keeps everyone alive. What you have to do to beat this is you have to generally bait out the Soldier 76's heal field. Like, you have to bait the cooldowns out, and then you dive. If you dive before you bait cooldowns, what happened here kind of ends up happening. Like, they didn't even need it. Like, Philadelphia just got out of position, took a bunch of damage, and dropped. But Philly also, like, engaged from slightly strange angles. Sort of a little bit too out in the open. Yeah, EQ has to be a bit careful. Luckily, Ado is not in position to follow up on that, so they'll be okay. But the defense kind of doesn't change for Shanghai. They still play from behind the point, just set Dia up, like give Dia what space he can, and then, yeah. So yeah, Dia's just going to play from the elephant. And this is the thing, right? This is the thing with this tactic, is that, like, this is not scary in the slightest. Because you have Mercy healing, you have Soldier who can drop a healing field if they need it, also I've made a face. Yeah, it's like, Fraggy is not scary in the slightest there. And so now they can just like bully Fraggy, and look, Fraggy's just dying. Adu just hunts him down. Like, where was the support? What was the plan there? It just feels like everyone's just engaging individual targets, and now D is free, gonna run around, kill everyone, no problem. It's simple. It's simple. Why am I seeing finish in the chat? Why are people speaking a heathen Viking tongue that might not even really be Viking? I don't know. Are Finns Vikings? Are you going to contest a team like Jane? Probably not. I have too many things on my plate at the moment. Like, it'll be fun. Don't get me wrong, but I would rather focus on like casting and doing the streams that I'm doing. That said, I will be involving myself with Team UK. So like, I'm not going to be coaching a contenders team. I'm hoping to be involved in the coaching, like not directly in the coaching. Hey, he's definitely going to be main coach probably. But definitely involved in what I can help with for Team UK. Yeah. I like the fact that Semler just like straight away, and like this is decent patience out of Philly, like just waiting the visor out. So visor gets used, trance gets used to counter it. Freefill uses his trance as well, just to cover the engagement, I guess, but then that just leaves EQO wide open. Philadelphia can just wait and just re-engage and kill. Beautiful. But Shanghai, you know, they should feel okay with this. Just stall it out as much as possible, but hey, yeah, you got 93%. Okay, now you need to die quickly. Like, the point's already been flipped, boys. Swap it up. They can keep the soldier out if they want. So now, to get the retake, they just need to outsmart Philly in a single fight. Avoid stupid deaths. Either get a pick or just build more ultimates and then bait out their ultimates. Carpe takes a sugar load of damage. Slightly whiffy bomb. I'm not... Oof, that's a big kill. I'm not the biggest fan of these support bombs still. That one just feels rushed as well. Like, he should be able to get that one. Like, Boombox is not paying attention here. It's just like the blink is bad. He blinks in front while Boombox is moving back. So that's just a little bit rough, but that's a beauty of a kill. Because that should be really difficult to res as well. Like, if they go for a res on that, that should be punished. So EQO is just gone. Fraggy can try and do what he can here, but hey. That's a good kill. But Altering just picks it back up because, hey, Philly are scattered to the four winds. Trance comes out. This is win condition time. Because if Shanghai Dragon's beauty of a bomb as well is going to stall out the fight a little bit, means that they can't use this trance to convert it into kills. Sets Shanghai up for the next play, which is you just bring out the visor. Neptuno can't stop it. So if they burn through the defense matrix and they burn deflect, then they can absolutely set up for a couple of kills here. Chasing Fraggy around does not seem like the best use of time, however. Whereas Adu, he should be there to finish that kill off, but he's not. That's iffy. Like, this again is like the communication thing, where it's like, if they call Fraggy, like, Adu needs to be here to finish this kill off. Because if a Tracer was in position, that would be a dead Winston. Doesn't happen.
Another decent res though brings Freefield back into the mix, 67% before he gets to Transcendence as well. Otto's looking to end this right now with a pulse bomb.
Another pulse bomb. See where this one goes. It's a big kill on Mercy though, and it sounds like the res has gone off. This fight is done. And this is good for Philly because like this round is pretty much already over, so they just win this fight and that's it. GG. Shanghai with poor target focus. And like it comes out pretty well. Like Philly's positioning was pretty good. Like you notice against this comp, Philadelphia, and they weren't playing out in the open much. They were playing from like this position, like over here, where these walls are. And that just keeps them safe from the soldier. right? That just means that it's like Soldier has to run around to get line of sight on them, so that might have been why Deer peeled back and went for the Fraggy instead. Fraggy just jumps over this way, and Adu is like pissing about in this space over here. Carpe could have just been keeping him busy, but hey.
He is the only one here for now.
Speaking of bad tracer bombs, is this the is this the Jake one? No. Oh no, no, not Prophet.
Prophet's still in the payload. They've nearly got it there. That pulse bomb. Oh, he's gonna get himself. Whoops. For now.
Just I have to do my musical bits, guys. Let me just get to the right moment. This'll do. Right.
From Asher now. Prophet's still in the payload. They've nearly got it there. That pulse bomb.
And I can't make it go away. No, I can't stand the pain.
Okay, I mistimed it. This clip is shorter than I thought.
How could this
There we go.
happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run.
God, it hurts. Right. No, that's a bad one. We've all done it. We've all done it. You know, we've all been there. We've all been there. Okay? What'd you say? Yeah, that would actually be even better. Look, it happens to everyone. I am so proud of chat, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for using the UK alt as it should be used. Especially because it's London Spitfire. Only fitting. We've all done it, okay? If you've played Tracer any time in your life, you have done it. I guarantee. You've killed yourself with a bomb in a stupid way. Right? It happens. Okay, interesting team comp coming out of Philly. Oh shit, Philly wanting to catch the enemy off guard here. Also interesting to see Altering staying on the Lucio. Philly though, playing Ryan, like triple tank. Oh, juicy, spicy, I like it. Just watch Fraggy just run in. Just run at the enemy, swinging away, holding down mouse 1. Oh god, it's sexy. Look at this. This is just... So this is what I call a rushdown comp. Okay, this is a good example of rushdown, where you play a comp that is pretty durable, does a lot of burst damage, and you just run at the enemy team and kill whatever's in front of you. Doesn't really matter what you're fighting, you just kill it. And yeah, Fraggy plays Reinhardt like you play Winston. Don't be Fraggy on ladder, because you're going to die, because Fraggy knows what he's doing, you probably don't. So yeah. Oh, Dia having a nice... Most straight to the side, just going to stand on the point. Just be annoying. Carpe's going to go and have to deal with him. So where the pulse bomb should be huge. Diva bomb. Not Diva bomb. Diva 8. Very cute. Very well done. Because Fraggy's dead here if this doesn't happen. So very nicely done. Very, very nicely done by Poco. Just well read, well defended. Like that is a very big kill if that happens. That's a reinforced quote, I do believe. So there are two kinds of Reinhardts, cowards and retards, and Fraggy's no coward. Look, Fraggy's a beast. He always has been, always will be, and he'll always be loved for it. Unfortunately, there's a reason, guys, why like triple tank isn't played much. It's because Dragon Blade is a really good ultimate, apparently, as well. Jesus, the value off the back of that, and then just the Zen is just killing people. Free Feel is just destroying nerds, and there we go. Fusion need to change this up. I'm going to be curious, like, the thing that's going to happen now is that Deer is just going to pulse bomb them every single fight. Like, non-stop, Deer is just going to pulse bomb. That's a very early sound barrier as well. Shanghai's going to wait it out. Ooh, look at the Tracer, that's a big kill. But they're getting fought by Spawn Door here. Fraggy's just not Fearless! Oh my god, Fearless! Oh my god, Fearless!
Shatter on Fraggy off the edge. Fearless gets himself forward.
Fearless with a big
So here's some analysis that I never thought would be possible. If your team has Primal Rage and you fight them by their spawn, you can set yourself up to knock everybody off with Primal Rage.
smushed against the
I
wall.
thought Triple Tank died because it's too hard to heal in the current meta. Yeah, Tracer is too good, basically. Like, Tracer just blows up a tank every engagement. And then you just get poked down and you die. Like, Triple Tank work, and also Junkrat is a thing. Like, Shanghai Dragons could swap Adu onto Junkrat at this point and just riptire them every fight. Riptire, Pulse Bomb, you win, GG. So, yeah, that's an interesting bit of analysis. This is what you should be afraid of. Which is, yeah, like, especially with a Discord Orb, you're just gonna have dead tanks every fight. And, like, the Pulse Bomb didn't kill anyone there, but it damn sure probably blew all their cooldowns, and now they have nothing left, and now they're just getting picked apart. Again, this feels arrogant by Philly. Philly know better than this. They know better than this. GM Pokes have been running Ryan, Zarya, Brig, Lucio, Moira, DPS. Things refuse to die that ults. Sounds about right. Yeah, I've heard the same from Smex. Smex sent out a tweet recently of like, you know, brace yourself for the most boring meta Overwatch has ever had, with Brigitte coming in. Triple support. Oh. So this is the downside of not having that Transcendence. Like, Coalescence is neat and all, but that happens. No way they're not running Diva. Yeah, Diva will probably... Like, you can probably run a Diva in that, honestly. Triple support, triple tank, no problem. He needs to play DPS. So... No Reese's. Interesting tank mix from Shanghai. Very interesting tank mix from Shanghai. Like, if Philly just run a Junkrat against this, they win. Nothing is going to stop that spam. It's just going to run through and just kill everybody. But Philly are just playing this so carefully. If I remember right, Dia pops off on this round, and it's something beautiful to behold. Current counter to Brig comp I can think of thus far is a damage boosted Widow. The issue with Widow is that she can't, like, if you just stay out of sightlines and play it safe, like, she can't kill Brigitte. Because Brigitte's barrier is just too much of an issue for her. It takes, like, 5 seconds of pure damage on it to kill it as Widow. Pharmacy. Pharmacy is the answer. So yeah, like, Philly just play this so carefully, Shanghai just take the point. Like, Shanghai, you know, Philly are getting kills, but it's slow. It's very slow. It's very nice. Boombox in trouble. Should die to this. Peel actually comes through. This is the strength of Boombox, and this is the, like, you know, if you're gonna play dive, play dive. If you're gonna play Roadhog comps, play Roadhog comps. But half and half, a Winston would have confirmed the kill there. No Winston means no kill. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on this tank comp. Philly spring back.
Widow's got all these little perches here, and she's always safe because of that grappling hook. A couple of quick ones to the dome right there for Fearless.
That was spicy. But then
Just gotta be careful.
really gave ult charge over there.
Dia's got Infrasight now, gives him the edge in this Widow duel.
Beauty of a shot.
Play a little safer.
Okay. I guess they figured out where Fraggy's hiding. Oh no, they have Infrasight. Wait, they have Infrasight. What the fuck is Fraggy doing? They have Infrasight. Fearless must be just going, oh, well, there's a free kill over here, lol. I'm going to be sneaky and hide. This... They show the replay of this, I'm pretty sure, because I remember seeing the clip of it, and it's disgusting how good Dia is. Look at this. Just watch this. This is like the play I dream of, right? 1, 2. Just so good. That's so clean.
Welcome to Overwatch, Monster.
Hey, Meta. Thank you, Meta. Interesting name choice, Meta. Assuming that is the meta that we all know and love. And thank you so much. Oh, Boombox in trouble. Yep, has to trance that. I mean, luckily, like, they can use the trance like that. There's nothing that's going to come out and counter it. Or there's nothing like a blade that's going to stop it. That makes me even more sad because Dia deserves better. No matter what, like, if Shanghai turn into a good team, I hope Dia is part of that team. Yeah, it's me. Pretty much everyone called me Meta anyways. Yeah. And it's either that or Brit, but then everyone thinks you're British. It's good to see you again, though. Thanks for supporting for so long. This team comp from Shanghai still puzzles me. Like, this is where it starts falling apart. The longer the fight goes, they just don't have durability. So they can get a couple of quick kills. Beauty of a self-destruct, but hey, they got no barriers as well. So hey, they can't defend against that as easily. And then with nothing like in front of them to block damage or to help confirm kills, like a Winston, Philly can just play back, heal up, and then just re-engage. I don't understand the sim mod completely. It doesn't go from the ground to the sky, wall to wall. I think it just literally creates a wall across the map. Judging from what Jeff Goodman said, just as a diversion. So let's say sim placed it in spawn. Horizontally, it would just project across here. Or as in, like, you know, let's say it comes out of this and will just project through all of this and all this terrain here. And that line isn't quite right. Like this. And it will just project like this and cover all of this. Right? It will just bisect the map, basically. It sounds insane. It sounds like a developer bug. It's like, yeah, we created this barrier for her, and then it just like, oh, it's actually really fun to play it like this, so we'll just have her, like, cleave the map in two. What would be sweet is if it did damage when it went through people. So Symmetry just, like, cuts Genji in half from spawn. And then just sits down and just goes, mata mata. That would be amazing. Right. Aggro died from Philly. Point flipped, though. This is spicy. I like this. Like, while Carpe's doing all this, Gaguri just goes to take the point. I don't think they can hold it, though. But this does put a lot of pressure on Philly's back. And Philly have C9 before. Can they do it again? No. Okay. Yeah. They have to let them take it back. There's no options. Carpe very almost recalled into the pit. Barrier snipes. Wouldn't it be sweet? My hopes it's an actual barrier wall that people can't walk through. I think that'll be overpowered. If you can do that from spawn and just set up a May wall from spawn, that's ridiculous. Like, that's a big kill. Especially with the pulse bomb as well. Adu is now free. Dia is also probably free to do what he wants. Pulse bomb goes onto the Zen. Boombox has to ult early. Ultra encounters. Freefeel should have enough time. Huge boop as well. Or pull from Fearless. Huge. Gagori's just going to cycle ults, and there we go. Ooh. That was very close. I think Gaguri, like, the one error here is Gaguri just, like, running, well, not the one error, but an error is Gaguri just running completely off the point here and ending up in this situation. Because they don't get the overtime, and Gaguri could have guaranteed it and just cycled the bomb safely. Neptuno kills Zen and reses Carpe. Doesn't surprise me, it's Neptuno. He does that shit. I mean, like, honestly, Neptuno realizes something that I think a lot of other people don't, which is that Valkyrie is really good for killing people. Yep, kills free. Well, he finishes off free Phil. Valkyrie, like, Valkyrie's a really good offensive weapon.
Shanghai Dragons unable. Look at that. That was sick.
It just leaves it there.
The series, yeah, Poco. Look at that. That was sick.
Slow-mo bomb.
The thing about that is the time everything.
Overwatch League is brought to you by Mobile.
Right.
America's best play of the Overwatch League.
The fact that it ramps up to 195 DPS and she basically had infinite... Like, the thing they tease for the Symmetra stuff, that beam sounds overpowered. Like, it's like, you know, they want to slowly bring Reinhardt back and have Reinhardt involved again in the game. They nerf Tracer. It's like, oh yeah, Reinhardt, come out, come out, come out. By the way, we're giving Symmetra literally a thing that just sodomizes barriers. That's literally what she does. She just kills your barrier and laughs while doing it because it doesn't lose ammo while it's shooting a barrier. And like, I get that Symmetra is meant to be the shield expert and stuff, but it's like, that feels kind of crazy. The right click, the new right click sounds a lot more fun. The new turret sound a lot more fun. But yeah, it's like, it sounds rough for Reinhardt. Okay. Nice little videos, thank you. Let's go Junkertown. New gun seems too similar to Zarya and easy to get value from. It's, the new TP, like, the new TP sounds really cool. I like the new TP. That's an amazing camera angle. Carpe. I see what they're doing. Right. Yeah, like the new sim rework at least sounds fun. Like, however it lands, it sounds like a more fun hero to play. Sounds like a hero I might actually be interested in playing. The teleporter sounds really cool. Like, it sounds like a... Like, that's the sort of thing where it's like you trade DPS for utility in a really fun way. There we go. Beautiful. Bastion. Double sniper. Bastion. Mono support. Dia disarms the trap. Just tanks it. Not Dia. Freefield disarms the trap and tanks it. Freefield, one of the players with the highest deaths in the league. Playing a hero that needs to survive, and yeah, that's... Hook 2.0, Neptuno just drags him in. Hey, nice stuff. Is it weird that I think multi-tank and multi-support is way more interesting than Dive, even if Dive wasn't in 99% of Overwatch League? I think the sim gun is going to punish Arita and Winston more because they can't undeploy the barrier. Reinhardt can at the very least smash his head in. Yeah, but like, you don't want Reinhardt's just like, if Symmetra's there, then Reinhardt just can't raise his barrier. It feels like.
Arrow comes out, he knows where that tank is. When Infrasight comes up, you know where everyone is as well. They are going to try to get back on the card. Gaguri on Orisa is going to put that.
Yeah, that's just greedy. Going back for seconds there is just greed. All the sim one tricks will have to learn to aim. Yep. That does feel nice. Carpe doing Carpe things.
Dia does get back in the mix. Dia is way far behind. Freefield's under some pressure now. They're getting pushed out.
I'm surprised to see aggression coming out of Philadelphia. And honestly, I like seeing the aggression coming out of Philadelphia here, because you want to push them off the Bastion. Or, like, if they stay on the Bastion, then fine. You just punish it over and over again every time they poke the nose out. Dia should have got... not Dia. Ugh. Adu should have got that. Like, this is a very long jump. But for some reason, Adu repositions instead of just taking the shot. Like, to do this motion, you have to unscope.
No way! Dirty. So sick. Yeah, perhaps the image of a fish head awakens something in Carpe.
Oh, Overstalked. Yeah, sorry. Like, next time, if you're not a sub and you want to post a link, let us know and we can just permit.
But he will get a body shot. Freefield will get topped back up again, but now he knows. He knows. He's looking for the angle.
So there you go. There you see, off color's done it. Good stuff. Right. Tire coming in. Very good. That's... What? Like, just kill a tank with it. Like, they have a Widowmaker. You can't do this. The Widow should just kill this. That's literally skeet shooting. Again, cocky. Very greedy jump. Ball and chain not quite working out. Phyllis just gets decimated. Adu's in actually a pretty nasty position here, though. Honestly, Kaguri could have taken that fight. Like, they're both fortified, but Altering's just healing one of them. I guess Kaguri's a bit nervous about like the rest of the team coming back, but does get focused down there. Carpe seems to just be having a good time. Everyone has mobility except for Anna. McCree wants to have a word with you. He can roll. And I reckon he only learned that during Retribution because he saw the Talon Grunts doing it and thought, you know, that's pretty cool. I can do that. So yeah, Dia has sights, so gotta take it easy. Beauty of a stick. Oh my god. And EQO jumps back at just the wrong time as well. A little bit lucky, but beauty of a stick onto Boombox. My god. It's a big old res as well. Oh, oh, oh. This is a sign, hey, maybe the communication's working, because this is good. Like, Carpe should not be taking that duel for that long. Just out in the middle of nowhere.
You gotta get in here. They were able to hold their own. Poco and Fraggy with that supercharger just boosting their damage. But eventually they're going
Riptide gets the trance. Couple of juicy kills. They should be able to re-engage on this. Yeah, there we go. Simplayers is just mad that Sim is no longer brain dead. Look, Simplayers can cry a river. She needed changing. She was not viable. Well, she was just ridiculously situational and sort of stuck in the low-level trench. Like, she needed higher potential. Yet despite all of this, they lose the map. I know, I can't believe it myself. I'm waiting to see how this happens.
We have the supercharger. It is going to get caught, though. Free feel is done. EQO finds the supercharger. The Bongos is dead. Kaguri, however, maintaining positioning on this payload. EQO, what is... Oh, yeah.
I mean, Neptuno is on Tracer, so like that's already a sign that's, you know, something weird is going on here. Wow, Hex is fined for mentioning Fortnite. Once Boombox dies here, yeah, Shanghai just win. Like, there's no healing here. Carpe should just die as well. Altering's just gonna use the barrier and stay alive as long as possible. GG. Okay. Bought yourself some time. Neptuno, please don't stay on the Tracer. No, he's gone to the Roadhog. Gonna stick on the old mono support defense. Like, do they realize that they're not playing Bastion anymore? I'm curious about the mono support at this point. That seems very strange to me. That seems strange. It seems weird. Am I the only one who thinks that's weird? I think that's weird. There's not enough healing. And Fearless just literally walks out of the high ground. Like, Fearless just literally runs around the flank and gets away with it. Like, Neptuno should be the one putting a stop to this as well. You literally see... Oh, God. Okay. This is, again, I need the soundboard. Alright. Gonna... Slow motion? Okay. Ready? I mistimed it. Like, let's just enjoy this pig flying. Blink and you miss it. Blink and you miss it. Neptuno? And then the launch. Woo! Beautiful. Okay, if I press this button, do we go back to normal speed? Yes, we do. Hey, nice. Blizzard hate the idea of tank meta, so don't want to buff Ana. It's not quite that simple. I don't think they hate the idea of tank meta. It's just that they know that there was a lot of bitching about it. The weird thing is, if Blizzard had a passionate distaste of anything that isn't 2-2-2, there would be roll queue. Yeah, like Neptuno needed to control that. Neptuno needed to be the one that stopped Fearless doing that shit. But Fearless just went in, hooked him, ulted, and killed him.
Neptuno gets bullied out as well. They just walk it in.
There we go. Second point pick.
Neptuno gets bullied out as well. They just walk it in.
There we go.
Hello?
Boombox, this would be big. And Boombox gets picked off by Dia.
Dia turns on again.
Are we going to get the second support? When are we going to get the swap? Boombox, he gets killed with Valk.
Yeah, Neptuno's staying on the Roadhog.
Neptuno's got to switch. I'm trying to look at the overhead to see if he's going back towards spawn. No, he's just lurking below on normal pack right now. 54%. I don't know. I think it might be time to go. Neptuno's not been having the biggest impact anyway on Roadhog. They need a second support, but
Like, honestly, Shanghai can just take these fights, make him go long, and just... Like, there's just not enough healing. Like, Mercy alone cannot heal at an entire team's damage.
Lots of bullets to the face from Addo. Just melting him, and there it is. Post bomb right into it. Fearless.
Neptuno, the time has come.
Gets the snipe. We're trading kills back and forth. Self-destruct kills. Geguri takes down
He's still on it.
in the mix. And Altering will be able to get the res off. Geguri back.
He's on it, and then he literally come out of spawn and instantly died to free feel, feeding even more ultimate.
them on the first map has become
Neptuno is feeding at this point.
They will continue to look for it. One of the last fights that they won, Fearless just crushed it with a whole hog. He's got it ready.
This is comedy
Spot him out, so those people
at this point. This is like, you need the clown music.
while he's still there.
You know, you the doo 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 doo, you're like, you know, magic roundabout. Jesus Christ.
Whole hog's out, just push them
Thank you, Neptuno.
making some progress while this is happening.
Yeah, he needs to try and
Interesting that Neptuno cannot play Zenyatta and Boombox has had to swap. I mean, okay, it makes sense. Boombox uses ult.
Poco, unbelievable. The D-Matrix though from Poco. Sacrifice
Like, it's nice peel, but just good follow-up from Shanghai. Really good follow-up from Shanghai.
on this payload.
Please kill Poco.
And while it's Philadelphia,
Please kill Cool Matt.
all the die in
Oh, wait.
it will be Shanghai
Diaz got space on the back line. Kill stuff. Beautiful.
points on
Yeah, that was
Alright, but they changed the damage out.
what we call a throw.
There at the end, he was looking. If Shang
And Shanghai going, why is he playing? Why is your support playing Roadhog for that long and being terrible at it? Don't get me wrong, Neptuno's probably a better Roadhog than I am,
he's not getting off of this widow
but he's not an Overwatch League Roadhog.
at the moment for the Shanghai defense.
So yeah, this just again, it just feels like disrespect.
For loops so far.
Like this is how Shanghai gets a win, guys. Is if everyone just disrespects and just goes, oh, Shanghai are terrible. It's like,
Curry is going to be on that duty. That's
yeah, they are, but it's you can't just take the piss.
definitely an interesting style. It's been a while since you've seen a team run
It's fantastic in Overwatch League watching all these pocketed Zens. Jonak syndrome is a real thing. Jonak syndrome is when Zenyatta's asked to be pocketed.
headshots, but we'll see. This could
And like go, yeah, New York pocket their Zen. We should pocket ours because that's how you win games. Beauty of a shot from Carpe.
winging a headshot right into Fearless.
This is what you expect out of Philly.
The D-Mac on Geguri, and there the follow-up. Carpe right now. Hit shot after shot.
I also question
This looks like Philly playing now normally. Hey, hi Philly, you did a huge amount of damage to one follow-up. It's now instantaneous on the target. Dies instantly. Carpe then gets space to breathe, gets out, kills a bunch of people. Hey, nice.
now they're even getting it up.
Someone's been watching Oversight? Of course.
It looks like they're
I try and watch whatever I can.
full dive. Dia will stay on this Roadhog for the moment because he's still alive. But you'd have to imagine that at some point he will go to either a Widow or a Tracer.
And like, you know, Monty has access to some of the players. Huck definitely has access to a bunch of the players. I want to hear what these guys say.
Impresight is in, and they do go for the dive, but Boombox
Fearless is going to just...
melting him.
No, Fearless isn't going to... Okay, Fearless finally dies. It feels like Fearless just got away with murder there.
Not quite going to be able to get out there for free. Impresight is in.
Oh, Boombox just ran out of ammo. I think he has to reload. Yeah, he's reloading. And then just turns around, kills Fearless.
Freefield's able to take him down, but it took a lot of resources to get there.
The scary thing with this is like, while Boombox occupies all that attention, you've got to be careful of this guy because he can just kill everyone.
That was sick. Addo even turning around, but he will get hooked.
Oh, that's a bad miss though.
Off of cooldown, though, and they are getting
Shock it. Oh, he's hesitant on the shot. There we go.
bodily up in the air by the whole hog.
EQ used the whole hog, does not get any kills
like, you can see how much respect Shanghai have to give Carpe, because if Carpe's landing shots, there we go. And now it's all falling apart because, I mean, Shanghai are committing ults like Philadelphia. Okay, Philadelphia shouldn't be engaging now. Boombox has just gone, Matt. We are prepared for this. From coaching the many last night, as I moved the wrong thing. We're prepared for this. We're ready for this. Thanks to coaching the many, we have the perfect quote. It's Boombox. I want to just emphasize what Hex just said, right? Hex is an experienced caster and has just stated the stagger on EQO is immense. Okay, as in Philadelphia need to be setting up for the next team fight, right? They need to be preparing for the next battle. So EQO dying now is going to stall the next fight. It said Philadelphia seemed to be harboring the delusion that no, this fight is still going, that this is still a fight, and it's like Shanghai mostly regrouped on the point. Your tanks are running out from spawn, and Boombox picks now's the time to ult. Okay, they get Transcendence, but like, sure, why not? You know, they're not worried about a Dragon Blade, so you're not going to find, you know, Freefield survives. No one else dies during this. Adu gets a bunch of kills, and now Shanghai are fine. Hey, I want to point out the disrespect and the racism coming out of Hexagrams. It's diabolical at the moment, calling Bastion's mother a toaster, and then when he swaps to Zenyatta, suggesting that this isn't helping the issue because Zenyatta is also Omnic, therefore his mother's also a toaster. And he could have gone with Battlestar Galactica as well. Jesus. Instead of saying, have you watched an 80s movie? These fracking toasters. I need to watch Battlestar Galactica again. It's been a long time since I watched it. And if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's bloody good. Gaius Baltar is just an amazing character in any series at all. Very crisp, clean Dragon Blade. They know that Boombox isn't going to have an ult. Feels good, man. I think this is one of the byproducts of modern internet hyperbole. Shanghai are bad, but they're not garbage. But everyone says they're hot trash. But the absolute truth, listen. Language is a tool. Okay, so it isn't like it is somewhat hyperbole. But when you're talking about teams in context of the Overwatch League, that's where you frame your language. So you have a boundary, and it's like in Overwatch League. Like, you know, this is Shanghai, and like if you say that this is trash as an Overwatch League team. Like, this trash, if you compare it to the general player base, you know, and this is the general player base, Shanghai Dragons are still here, you know? They're still, like, you know, greater than the top 1 percentile. They are still some of the best players in the world at Overwatch. There might be a couple of contenders teams that could beat them, but beyond that, probably no one else. Especially like contenders Korea, and the top contenders Europe and contenders US teams. But otherwise, yeah, Shanghai are just, yeah. But in my mind, you are okay still calling them trash. Like, I call Shanghai Dragons trash, but I do it in full in the knowledge of the context that we are discussing Overwatch League teams. Compared to the other Overwatch League teams, there is a very clear gulf between them. How do you think Shanghai will do in contenders? Probably relatively well. Top 3. Like, outside of Korea, top 3. In Korea, they probably struggle a bit more. Good grouping by Philly. Regroup, get the res, push back out. Feels good, man. Shanghai could take another fight here, though. Like, the big thing here for Shanghai is just to survive. And then re-engage, use the trance, convert to kills. The big thing is that conversion to kills, though. They've got to get that working for them. That's a nice one. That's a good one as well. Adu is just popping off. Boombox does a boombox. Feels good, man. And there we go. Do you think next season we'll be seeing more 2-roster Overwatch League teams where they swap between rosters for each stage? Not for each stage, but for like splitting the workload definitely seems a good strategy. So that was Shanghai just using resources extremely well, and like capitalizing on the mono support. When you're just running a Mercy on her own, like Dragonblade is so much more pivotal. And so Shanghai just played around the Dragonblade pretty consistently, and it worked wonders for them. It's pretty simple. Well, I didn't really clean up the fight and allow Shanghai to regroup, because you have like a pile of tanks and a Transcendence in a small room. So the kills that come through... Okay, I've gone too far. I've gone way too far back. I'm like 2 minutes back. So yeah, this is the Dragonblade. Okay, they win the fight. And then like the next fight is the one that matters. Philly playing a more conventional strategy. They go aggressive, pop free feel, use Transcendence, play aggro. Get themselves a couple of kills, but it's still relatively even. Like, they still don't have enough resources to really play super aggro here. And the big thing is this. Like, Fearless is hiding back here and can just, like, bounce away and survive. Everyone else is in here, and Free Feel has Trance. So, I do agree. Like, I think that Philadelphia's only realistic option, if they've been tracking the odds properly, is probably to go in here and play aggressive. Because otherwise Free Feel will Transcendence, and when like Shanghai regroup, that's a problem. It looks like they even try and go for that a little bit, but they just want to get progress on the payload more than anything, and then they just don't have the team comp to actually pressure in here. Because you can't do it with, like, Widow Genji can't push into this room. And so there's kind of an inevitability to what's about to happen. Because now Free Feel uses the Trance, they get onto the point, fight normally on the point, and now Philadelphia just need to win this straight up fight, but Fearless just does a good job, goes into the backline, there's no peel for Carpe. Carpe dies, EQO takes a boatload of damage, and there you go. I can't believe Blizzard would condone a caster calling Bastion a toaster. Blizzard would not give a shit about a caster calling Bastion a toaster. I can confirm this fact. Okay, let's skip forward. Oasis. We've seen a lot of Oasis this stage. We've seen a lot of Oasis this stage.
0 and 27. This is their 28th match. They have 2 more next week, and as I mentioned, it's against New York Excelsior and London Spitfire. So that's really, really tough.
Nothing makes me feel
Hey,
more
thank you,
alive
Officer Doppers.
than when I'm one amongst
You have a really
many.
still stream, and I've learned a lot of Overwatch, so thanks.
You
You're
have
more
a
than
really
welcome.
chill stream, and I've learned a lot of Overwatch from you, so thanks, D.
Thank D indeed. Thank you so much. Yeah, like, that's very generous of you. Alright then. Interesting team comps coming out. Interesting to see the Moira coming out here. Pharmacy. Notice how sloppy this was. Well, they use the speed boost, but no one stays in clean line of sight, so they can't get the Mercy out quickly. So Free Feel has to go back, and Dia, one of the most important people to get like in position quickly, also waits. Sloppy. This should be better. This should be cleaner. Right. Pharmacy versus McCree. This is all about can they give Dia space. Notice that he doesn't use the flash, because if the moment he uses the flash, Carpe goes and kills everyone. While he has the flash, Carpe has to be careful. Philly have played more Game 5s than any other team in the league. They've won 9 of them out of 14. That's a pretty good ratio. I mean, the practice at it then. So yeah, Dia's being very careful. Like, EQO is just going to pepper him with shots the moment he pokes his nose in, so he needs covering for it. That's a risky flash. Beauty, though. Good start. Boombox in a lot of trouble as well. Has used Fade. This should be the hallmark to kill him. That's a really nice reposition from Boombox, though. Like, this is actually pretty cool as Moira.
Nothing makes me feel more alive
Hey, Clive!
than when I'm one amongst
Oh,
the
God,
many.
no.
Let us listen to your amazing singing. Also, as a Philly fan, I wanted to cry last night.
Your team won. That's, you know, it's better than being a London fan. London's breaking my freaking heart lately. This is a really cool reposition from Boombox. So, as Moira, one of the weaknesses of Moira is when you're in a big open space and you throw an orb out and it just bounces away. Like, that's a big issue. Boombox repositions by going in here. If you throw the orb at a wall in here, there's a good chance that it'll just, like, bounce back and forth, right? That's really cool. Kind of minor, and I don't know how intentional it is, but it's a really nice little optimization. It gives you a bit of cover, gives you an area where you can just bounce an orb around. Pretty good. Huge barrage. Huge barrage.
Instantly deleted, and this is setting it up nicely here for Philadelphia Fusion. Now, can they just get the job done? It's a 4-on-4, 4-on-5 right now.
Otto's still trying to carry, takes down Neptuno. They're late. No one has control just yet, and Fearless wants to see it that stays that way. Will pop Primal Rage, wait for his reinforcements to come in. If they can stall this out long enough, they will have an
Like, yeah, they're stalling it out, but yeah, the point's just flipping. And, like, this is a losing fight. It's a nice kill from Fearless, but... And now the res comes up as well, so... Another Coalescence and another Pulse Bomb. It's ridiculous. This just feels like the McCree's just not getting enough value. Like, Dia is a really good player, but you really need to play around that McCree. You've really got to protect it. Shanghai fans are okay, because, yeah, if you're a Shanghai fan, you go in expecting to lose, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be expecting to win games. You're waiting to be pleasantly surprised. Seoul fans, on the other hand, Jesus, they should be angry. Yeah, Dia, like, I think Dia just gets left alone there a little bit too much, and that is a big problem. So coming week, Dragons will face NYXL and Spitfire, not expecting a win. Listen, if any team can lose to Shanghai Dragons at the moment, it's Spitfire. I trust in Spitfire's ability to throw games. The Widow change I actually kind of like, just the burst potential of it. It still suffers from the same issues as the McCree, and Carpe should be a little bit more free to do what he wants. Ooh, that's a good body block from... What? I was generally surprised that, like, Fraggy just didn't turn around and zap him some more. Because, like, this is a really nice body block. He gets a little bit lucky, but hey. Neptuno ults just to confirm. I like the aggression from Giguri, but yeah, there's just not enough going on here. Like, there's not enough oomph, and this fight has just gone long. Like, Giguri needs to just stop. Just take a dive. That's it. Just rocket into the ocean or over there. That's fine too. What do you think about Mayhem lately? I feel like they've had a few chances but struggle to stay consistent. Yeah, like, they're looking better. Any team with a couple of changes in it, like, you expect them to slowly change into the better. This could be a very big barrage. Giguri has to be so careful with this bomb. Notice that he's not gone for it. Yeah, this is... Oh, that's so bad. Oh, they had to get that kill. Like, this was so greedy from EQO. He wanted to get the trade or just like the single kill onto the Mercy. But altering Valkyries at just the right time, a little bit lucky, could have just still died here. But EQO is hesitant because he knows that if Ado reacts fast enough and just deflects, then EQO just dies. So he can't do that here. And then Gaguri's just going to push him off, but there's just not enough... There's no other follow-up, and so EQO survives, and we'll just drop this barrage on someone else. Gets him, okay. But this is in a much more resable spot. It looks like Neptuno might be going for it. Won't go for it. No, oh. Okay, it's Fearless getting rest. So it doesn't go for it. Like, the Transcendence from Shanghai is just going to give them enough pressure here, I think, to knock them off. But Philadelphia can just let this go, honestly. Looks like they're actually just going to go straight for it, though. Coalescence and Valkyrie gets used. Poco kept on the just barest edge of life.
been a game of chicken between Gaguri and
This is the thing with Barrage. Like, this is why Barrage is quite a weak ultimate, because there's so many things that can go wrong with it, especially on, like, on this map at the moment. Like, he can drop it now. No, wait, the defense matrix. He can drop it now. No, Fearless just jumps at him and he kills himself. It's... Dallas fans suffer the most? Yeah, I think Dallas might be the saddest fans. Like, just with constant drama around their team as well. And just kind of being known as the disappointment of the league. I think he got him during the animation. You kill! Just very rare to see, like, Farah doing that to someone else. Kind of satisfying, I imagine. Yeah. Whew. Dallas has been a roller toaster all season. What is with the obsession with toasters? Okay. Triple tank, Zarya's coming out. Makes me a little bit sad to see that Gaguri's not the one playing the Zarya, but oh well. I rate Philly here because they have a Junkrat. That's literally the reason why, like, aside, all things aside, Philly have a Junkrat. Notice that Carpe is on 50% ult charge already. And that probably isn't not going to slow down immensely. If he just continues to land shots, there's going to be a Riptire, and then that is GG. Carpe having a bit of a tough time. It actually looks like it's the Zarya's making the difference here. Dia finds Carpe, so Carpe goes down. That is a big deal. Philly just win regardless. This only gets harder. It was a good start from Carpe, but he seems to have dropped off a little bit there. Actually, it's using okay Wakure. I don't care. I'm going to say KO Ken because it sounds like KO Ken, and that's nice. That's what it sounds like to me. It's either that or it's just a bunch of weeb nonsense. Time for the Reinhardt duel. Fraggy is going to go for it. Beautiful counter stun. What is this cluster? Oh my god, that Earth Shatter is big. Carpe should die here for sure. And Carpe gets his ult. Carpe just whiffs his ult. What is this fight? So, like, I feel bad now for bad-mouthing the McCree pick. Holy shit, look at this guy. Look at this cowboy over here. I mean, luckily, you know, EQO notices and protects it, but... Also, notice the one time that, you know, Earthshatter doesn't have a weird interaction and doesn't, like, stun everyone up here for no clear reason. Yeah. And then, like, what is that Riptire? What is that Riptire? Shocking. Absolutely shocking. But they can continue the fight and stall it out. And, oh my god, they're winning. It's literally just 2 tanks left on the point, guys. Come on. Poco has just killed himself, guys. Don't do this. Don't lose this fight now. How are you losing this fight now? How do you lose from this situation? Okay, Dia gets dived by like 3 people. Okay, Adu gets completely isolated and no one protects him. Philadelphia just target cool better. Like, notice how fast Adu dies compared to how fast Poco dies. That's just better target calling, better focus. Again, communication issues on Shanghai. Shouldn't be surprised. And yeah, Philly, like... Philly have another grab. Jesus, Poco built that fast. Because it took so long to kill him. Go figure. He had like twice the time to fight, so hey, he builds another grab.
it yet this game. Gaguri is going to be the one who is going to have to eat the gravitons. Getting going to the wall.
Beauty. Beautifully done.
Gravitons getting going to the
Like, this is a kind of grab that I like, and this is the kind of grab that I want you guys to take note of. Which is that it's not fancy, it's not dramatic, it's not, oh, I need to get absolutely everybody in the grab. It's, I see a position where I can probably get 2-3 people. And he just puts it there. It's safe because it just flies straight into the wall, so the defense matrix can't really absorb it easily. And then it just grabs like 3 people, and actually grabs some people behind this wall. Sets him up beautifully for the fight. And now you just put the Reinhardt in it, and he just holds left mouse button, and he just kills everybody. Really, really nice. And so, like, if you're playing Zarya and you think, oh man, I've got to grab everybody, like, grabbing 3 people is plenty. Absolutely plenty. I think Dallas is the only team begging for dive meta at the end. Yeah, Dallas. No, Houston maybe as well. I think Houston wouldn't mind seeing dive go. Oasis looked decisive there, but hey, like, that was rough. That was rough for Fusion. That did feel like hubris in some regards. Like that felt like a bit of hubris going on. You know? Yeah, not the keenest on that. Right. What time is it? 1:15 midnight. Okay, what we can do is, rather than just end the show here, I am going to go over here, go over here, go over here. No, it wasn't. It was versus Gladiators, wasn't it? Was it? I'm not crazy? Yes. Yes, this is the right map. I hope. Let me double check. Let me double check. I'm not crazy, am I? Yes, this is the right map. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Right. So, I want to look at this because apparently this is a Okay, thank you, Doa and Monty. Okay, Phil. And then instantly into a game. Come on.
Nothing makes me feel more alive
Hey,
than
Damasus.
one and one amongst the many.
Oh God.
Let the singing stream come. P.S. Praise be to Link's smile.
Wow, that Lynx's name really messes her up. Yes, praise be to Lynxer. He who snipes with wids. Okay, let's go. So, Gladiators versus Houston. Houston running, like, I'd say still, like, already a relatively interesting defense. Seeing the Sombra on defense here is surprising, somewhat. We've seen some teams, like, use it on offense. I really did like, I think it might have been Spitfire that ran it. Yeah, it was Spitfire that ran it. Where they just run the Sombra, like, onto the back of the point, and it baits the tanks down. The idea is you try and hack one of the tanks, and because the tanks kind of rely on bouncing up and down, you catch the tank out effectively and kill it. Yeah, Widow Sombra defense is bizarre. I mean, the hack comes on Bishu, but damage comes through on Bishu, actually. Does he take a Widow shot? No, he just gets pelted down. I mean, that's good fallout from Houston. Target hacked, kill target. The trick here is to not get hacked. Spoiler. Let's wait for the next attack.
I've been watching too much Nimbani this week because it's been a puzzler for me as to how teams successfully defend point A. This, however, I think is an interesting solution that we have.
Yeah, this is an interesting idea. Infrasight, so they have to respect Linkser. You've got to respect him because he will just shoot the hell out of everybody. Whoop, whoop. Defense matrix, nicely done. Shaz goes down early. Like, this is just good focus. Where was Shaz? I think they just caught him coming out the low ground. I don't think it's just Jake. Yeah, Moon was there too. They're just like playing a dive style with a Sombra. And that's given Lynx a space and a couple good kills. Okay.
Nothing makes me feel more alive
Hey, Dedrick Toast. Oh
than
no.
when I'm one amongst the
Well, there it
many.
is. The karaoke stream is on the
Sing, you
cards.
magnificent bastard. Sing.
I wanted to
Owned.
figure out. That's a surprising amount of money. Thank you so much for how much people have given today. Yeah, karaoke stream's on the cards then. I'll figure out a date for it. And exactly how we're going to run it. We'll get lyrics on the screen and stuff like that, and we'll get it going. Okay. So Shaz, if Shaz survives and gets the Transcendence off, this could go very bad. Like this, the thing with this defense is that it doesn't feel certain. So like, okay, good EMP. They've had to commit a transfer as well. Jake's just trying to survive in here. Didn't get the hack on the pack, so we'll just die. Cheeky res. Oh my god, cheeky pulse bomb in retaliation. Holy shit, that is a juicy pulse bomb. Like this res is bold. The pulse bomb is like, oh my god. Oh mercy, no. Oh lord, that is sexy. That's spicy. Now gladiators just attack. Like they have Valkyrie, they just go in. They don't even need the trance. Yeah, this is the thing with like EMP. It's a good ultimate, but people I find overvalue it, and so yeah, it's like he EMP'd, got the diva, they got the kill, and then they stayed in and fought for some reason. I think just Jake got a bit too greedy, and then they just went nuts to try and keep Jake alive.
Welcome to Overwatch, monster.
Hey, Alamadi, 8 months. Thanks
Less
so much.
than 3.
Less than 3 right back at you, friendo. Or greater than 7. Because it's 8. So yeah, EMPs are like very high execution. So Infrasight being used. Interesting choice to go for a jump. Beauty of a follow-up. And notice that Lynx is repositioning during this. So it's a little bit lucky. You can see that Surefall like knows that Lynx is in this space, but then just goes, "Oh hey, free kill here." Lynx is nowhere to be found. Come on, Twitch. Sometimes Twitch player is garbage. Nice follow-up. Banny's dead. Fisher. Oh my god. Oh, spicy. Beautiful. Hello. Hello. Oh, Widow. She sounds almost pleasant when she says that. Hello. This is... Oh, I like this from Asher. I like tracers that do this. Like, you don't do this all the time. You just do this every so often. And you just sort of wait on the flanks and then wait for that moment because Lynx has spotted him. Oh, the stick! What a trade. What a trade. I think he should have just gone bold at this point instead of trying to sneak because Lynx just catches a glimpse of him and it's like, oh! So good. Holy shit, that is good. Banny can't res him. Like, they have to peel everyone all the way back to go and res him. But with Asher hanging around, they can't do it. Like, they might be able to do it now. But no, they res Brockus instead. And they're just losing people while that's happening because they have no healing. It's a lovely bomb. Bishu's just waiting to cycle his, though. And with Mercy on the point, this should be quick. This should be over. There we go. Bishu holds onto his bomb. Gladiator, like the tank play out of Gladiators is superb. They are creating so much space for Surefall, and like Asher is just causing so many problems that Surefall has space to do things. Like Surefall has the time to aim and fire his shots. And that's such a scary thing when you have a Widow that can hit things. It's like, it's so easy. It feels almost too easy for the Widow at that point. And that isn't a joke about everyone's favourite Dutchman. If you got that joke, then congratulations, you've been following Overwatch for a long time. Or FPS games in general, I suppose. Right. So this is what it looks like when Jake doesn't have that amount of space, but with the ultimates going off. Wait. How? How? Raucous flanks. Why is Raucous up there? I mean, I know that, you know, okay, he can get the orb on Jake from up there, but that's a very unusual position. It's a very unusual position for a Zenyatta to be. That's a surprise. That's a real surprise.
Yeah, you'll be pretty happy with this if you're the Houston Outlaws as well. You sort of matched support ultimates. So
I don't recommend being the flanking Zenyatta in your games. Seems like a good way to throw.
at about the same time. And it's going to be hard for the Gladiators to punch through this because they don't
Interesting to see that Shawfor's still on this Widow, by the way. You'll generally see like a change to a McCree, for example, at this point. Sometimes you'll see full dive come out. Ashley should feel good about taking this fight. Jake's now in a lot of trouble. It wouldn't surprise me to see them just go full pressure on Jake. Very nice from Muma, though. Like, Muma taking advantage of that space creation and just goes and kills the Widow. Like, I get the feeling that if Houston want to play with Jake on Tracer, it's just a literal case of, like, Jake just eats time, and then Muma and Linksa kill everyone. Pretty good.
is an overcommitment to a lost fight.
Wait, I just blew like over $20 on Josh? Yeah, you did.
Perhaps they were going to be able to
Thank you. You can't take it back.
standing right on top of him. So that was
It's mine now. I should spend it on more Widow figures. Right.
will be a slow push now.
I mean, I suppose it does help mitigate some of the incoming fire from the Widowmaker to have those shields that you can position and reposition pretty quickly.
So yeah, it doesn't surprise me to see like Arisa coming out. Maybe somewhat surprising me to see it come out while the... Ooh, that's spicy. Ooh, I like that. So Fisher, gonna do something kind of cool here. It's predicting that, you know, puts the barrier up and then spots the Winston, even does a 360. It's like, oh, Muma is going to jump away. Like, the logical thing here is that Muma is surrounded and going to get focused by a tank, so Muma is going to jump and try and get away. So if he throws the halt and then pulls him out the jump, he can't actually get away and will die. Instead, Muma, you know, outthinks them and Primal Rages instead. How's the construction of the Widow Shrine going? I actually need to build it again. I had to get my old PC out and, like, put it on a stand when my graphics card blew up. So, yeah. So I need to rebuild the Widow Shrine. It's basically just the Widow model, a Funko Widow, and Soldier 76 looking on skeptically. Going, this is getting out of hand, now there's two of them. Right. Bishu's destroying people here. Beautifully done. Holy shit. Raucous has ult doing this. Like, the tanks are causing so many problems at the moment, and like, Muma's trying to be tricksy here, but the tanks are doing so much damage. Like, Jesus, Raucous just gets melted. Could Shawful land a shot during that or something? Like, holy shit. Oh my god. Very nice from Bishu.
Just to push it in. Big Goose going to be speed boosting him back with the Lucio. Love the fast swaps we're seeing from the Gladiators today.
Abisha's got to stay alive, though. They can't let him get demeched immediately.
Oh.
Transcendence comes in.
Iris passed in. Oh, Banny. Banny actually in trouble here because he's getting forced out of line of sight. Raucous goes and helps him.
Somehow, some way.
Muma died. There
No guardian angel. And
Yeah, Muma.
Muma died.
This is like the 900 IQ play. Holy shit. Because, okay, Transcendence works on line of sight. Okay, Transcendence operates on line of sight. So Banny getting pushed into here means that to keep Banny alive, Raucous has to follow him into here. So now you have two people in this side room. And no one healing the tanks. Muma dies to the Diva Bomb, and Kulmat is like nowhere near the point. So no one's on the point, and so everyone kind of goes, oh? And Gladiator's complete.
They are not going to be expecting the Sombra here. You can see Jake Tanks will die. Right. Comes across, hacks Bishu, and then that
Yeah.
play.
So this is the starting play. So yeah, Jake just bides his time.
Comes across, push people onto the low ground, and this is
Interesting translocate.
usually tanks will dive in to push people onto the low ground. And
Translocates over, just hacks Bishu. That's really cool. I wonder how intentional that is. Basically just waiting for the dive to go kind of past, and then translocating across, and then getting the hack on the tank target. And then sort of the counter dive comes in.
this is where we see Jake strike. Comes across, hacks Bishu, and then this is
And so yeah, it just sets him up for the kill really nicely. It's just sort of, it's like waiting for everything to go past, and then, yeah. Just have a Funko Pop Widow too? Yes, I do. Is she by the desk? I don't think she is. I think she's with the rest of the stuff. I put it away during my flat inspection. Actually, she might be down here.
it's been a puzzler for me, this Numbani A defense, because with
There
all
she
the
is.
stuff you can do on attack, sometimes you'll see the soldier, sometimes you'll see the widow,
Wah.
sometimes you'll see dive,
Huh.
yeah, sometimes
There
you'll
she
see
is.
Pharah, and it's
She's Mini Maker.
catch-all defense that can sort
It's not the fancy golden one, but yeah.
and the soldier is probably the soldier tracer that we're going to see the gladiators run
I know like Funko has a bad rep, but my mum got it for me when she was on holiday in America, and she went into a comic book store and said, "Do you have anything Overwatch related?" And they had Overwatch Funkos, and so my mum got Widow, which is very nice of her. I believe I've told that before. So yeah.
the point, but it gets tough when there's a couple
In Stage 3 meta, is it D.Va who's the most important target, or is it the Winston? D.Va is just hard to kill in general. Like, it just depends on who fucks up, basically. Hacking the D.Va is definitely a big deal, though. Like, D.Va hack... I think Jake was just going for whoever he could hack, being honest. Like, either of them would work nicely.
Going with the Widowmaker. Oh no, they are. Okay, it was a Genji for Lynx
Right.
initially, but he swapped to the Widowmaker at the last
So, Houston, gonna be running. Tracer Widow. Gonna take the time. Let Jake get set up. Try and get Lynx to set up on the long sight line, and then try and win off the back of that one. Oh, Asher. Very cute. Very cute. I love it. I love it because it also shows that Jake didn't check his corners. This is well caught by the observers. So the Tracer generally like comes through here, right? Generally like runs through and goes to what people call blue, which is the blue corridor behind the point. And then the Zenyatta can sort of follow. And try and get to high ground, or just try and poke out from the low ground. Ashley just waiting back here, though. He knows that the Zen's probably going to come through here, so he's just set up for it. Raucous was... Sometimes the Zens will go to high ground from the stairs. But yeah. Very nice start. Losing Zen is a big deal.
when you die on the health pack like that, that feels so bad.
And yeah, as Doa says, dying on the health pack feels bad, because you think, like, surely my corpse fell on that. Surely my corpse landed on the health pack, and I should get the healing from it. Doesn't quite work like that. But yeah, they're going to have to wait for Raucous now, and like LA Gladiators get a nice chunk of ult charge off it. Although Banny's managed to build up a huge amount himself. Which is quite nice. So yeah, they've got to be careful. They've got to respect Linkser. Always respect Linkser. Very nice early kill. This should set them up for some pressure, so they're going to take some space. Asher in a lot of trouble as well. It's going to blink off for the health pack, I think. Again, if Jake can just occupy Asher's attention, that's honestly good. Like, if... Basically, Linkser ending up here is the kind of the victory condition. Right? That's what they want to have happen. That Linkser sets up on the high ground, and they are in a really good place. They end up sort of catching the tanks out a little bit. Visor gets popped. They're going to try and get some kills off the back of it. Big Goose can use Valkyrie now. Banny's already used his, so... They have the resources. Jake is pretending to be the receptionist at the Chancellor Hotel. I'm not going to go super well. Oh my god, Asher. Asher, oh my... Got the trance out of that as well. Quite nice. Quite nice getting the trance out of that. So LA are going to go for this one. Like, they have the time for it. It doesn't surprise me. We've seen, like, aggressive retakes become more of a norm. I think London sort of demonstrated, hey, you can do it. So teams seem way more willing to go for it. So it's no big surprise. Shaz is very out in the open here. Yeah, there's the follow-up dive. Asher is playing phenomenally. Absolutely phenomenally. Muma really wants to kill somebody in the arena. He's frustrated. Gets a kill, but then just res straight away.
Yeah, they do get the res, but now there's no res on the side of the Gladiators, and they've been
I like this from Jake, just playing on the point and setting up on the point. Because it forces LA Gladiators to a specific position, and that's going to just favor Houston. Linksa needs to get in place. That's a beauty of a bomb. Linksa should have space now. Like, if Linksa can just get set up, they should just win. So there's the kill. Kill. I'm sure Linksa was involved in that one somewhere as well. Like, once Linksa has a little bit of breathing room and can just set up in the right place, this should be over. But, so yeah. Pops out. 1, 2. Easy. Easy. And then this is the reason why I wanted to look at this. Because according to Houston, this is a legitimate strategy that they like running. And apparently has had results in scrims. What I like from LA Gladiators is their response is instant fucking taneous. Just the moment it comes out, instantly they ditch Widow, they ditch Mercy, even with 7% ult charge, and they go just triple tank Tracer. Right? They know that the Widow is not going to work against a... Like, Widow doesn't work when the enemy has 275 hit points. Widow doesn't work when the enemy is constantly behind an Orisa barrier. So by playing with this, they can just run at it, charge, use Zarya to absorb the turret fire and like exploit the turret fire, and just run over it. Bishu even just detonates it with a Diva Bomb. And then you might think, well, this is over. But then you remember that Linksa is a monster. And yeah, he just like, they run it over and then Linksa just dinks everybody. Earlier today, they said that Jake ran the strategy really badly. I mean, LA Gladiators, like, they're hitting it really hard. Like, just blowing it away with a Diva Bomb is a really good way of starting, just a way of breaking this strat. But there's just not enough follow-up on Linksa. You can see he's frustrated as well. But, and they managed to rebuild on it, and hey. This is the first time that Tourbillon has been played on attack on Numbani this season, or any map for that matter. I like the fact that this is called Obviously as well.
We are not making a chicken out of a feather there. It is a big deal. All right, now. All we're missing is a Symmetra.
Yeah, where's the Symmetra? Play Symmetra, you cowards. So it's waiting for the pulse bomb, looking for an opportunity. Just gonna dunk it on someone. Doesn't even worry about putting it on the turret. Like, one of the issues with Tourbillon is his hitbox is abysmal. Is absolutely abysmal. And yeah, they're just gonna swap off it. Like, this point is way too close. So I don't think the strategy is gonna work here. It's just, it's too easy to just bum rush around the corner and just kill everything. So they need to change off this strat. The nice thing about this strat is it will leave the enemy team unbalanced. Like, they're stuck on the Zarya Reinhardt. So if you swap to a dive, then you have an advantage, because dive should beat Zarya Rein. Give it a month, it might not be a joke anymore. With Brigitte, like, a team having 350 armor or whatever, that's going to be ridiculous. Like, it's not impossible. The Lindholm comp. They definitely don't need the ult here. What scares me for Houston at this point is that they need Jake to kill something. Like, you need Jake to blow up a tank. That's a little bit tricky. No sim rework? Sim rework might take a while. Don't hold your breath. Like, the Hanzo rework was talked about long before it was revealed. I prefer calling it the Swedish meatball. It's a bit too close to, like, the Moira meatball. Or quad tank if you're dirty. Just biding the time. Waiting for the grab. Might just plonk it on the underside of that lip if they want to fight there. Do not scoff, there was a time when cops of that Ryan were considered laughable. Oh yeah, no, I'm fully aware of the fact. Oh, Rockets just destroys people. There's the bomb. That's the bomb we were looking for. But it's done by Asher and just annihilates Muma. Luckily, Linksa is also a really good Genji, so hey. And Cormat's also pretty cool too. No pun intended. Also, Sure4 seems to be having a hard time finding this Graviton Surge. 41 seconds left on the clock, like... This should be okay here. The only issue is they're going to be going into a trance. So it wouldn't, like, they could try and just fight this as long as possible without using the grab. Diva Bomb gets used to cover the Genji ult. So this is just like cute synergy. Genji goes up to signal that, yeah, I'm going to Dragon Blade. Diva Bomb gets launched, causes everyone to everyone's going to have to like run away. Especially like Big Goose. And so it just isolates targets nicely for the Genji. It means they can't just turn around and kill him. So it provides him some protection. Banny gets caught though with the Earth Shatter. That's huge. Fisher continues to be a beast. Nice little kill off the back of that. Trance gets traded for Graviton. Fair enough, but Asher is a monster as well. Asher's been playing so well in this game. So well in this game. Anyone know if there's a release date on New Hanzo? There isn't an official one. No. Blizzard tend not to. Nope. Can't touch. Feels bad, man. Right, that'll do for now, though. Good lord. The Torb comp, I mean, it was novel. It worked, but I'd say it worked more because of Linksa, not because of the Torbjorn. May just be me being aware of his, not being aware of his hero pool, but what do you think of Houston bringing on Arhan when Linksa's Genji is pretty good anyway? It's nice to have a Genji specialist. Like, Linksa, the issue is this. If you look at most of the, sort of the, what I call like the standard Widowmaker pool, it's like Widow, McCree at the moment, Tracer. Sometimes you'll have like Wid Genji. But generally, like, this seems to be more of the standard. And the Tracer seems to be more of like the flexi role, because you generally want to have another Tracer player regardless. The issue I have with like Arhan is that you want to have a Tracer player. You know, so if you have a Widow as good as Linksa, you probably just want to have someone develop into a Tracer player and not worry Linksa about that, because if you're going to be playing Widow Tracer, you know that Linksa's going to be playing the Widow. But yeah, that's sort of standard. But at the moment, like, Linksa's hero pool is pretty much Widow Genji, I'd say, with dashes of McCree here and there. But like, these are his big two. This is what you expect to see Linksa to play. And then at the moment, like, Jake is going to be more like, he tends to get stuffed on Tracer a lot. Occasionally will bring out Sombra, and occasionally will bring out like, when he has the chance, he'll always play the Junkrat. So like, you can kind of run it with this, but Jake's Tracer is not. It's not bad, but it's nothing special. And as the meta is right now, you need special. Like, you want your Tracers to be A tier. Right, guys. Anyway, that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for the support so far. I'm going to find someone to host very briefly and read out who supported the stream. Thank you so much for doing so. Very, very big deal. Alamadi with the 8 months. Daedric Tosa with 20 quid. Thank you so much for that. Damasus 25. Clive Warren with 30. Officer Doppus with 25 as well. Like, that's like 100 quid, guys. Thank you so much for that. That is literally 100 quid. That means a lot. It really does. Especially because, like, payments have been kind of slow, because apparently there's a disconnect between Twitch and ESL, so they've been slow paying me. Bastards. I'm nagging them to hell and back about that. Very frustrated about that. Did I notice to get to choose some songs? Sure, why not? Why not? Yeah, Metabrit, 18 months. Rumple 10 months. Sluggy, the new sub as well. Delius, 17 months. Joker, fresh sub from earlier. Judo Punch, fresh sub as well. Thank you so much. Steal Your Mind, 17 months. Last Assassin. It's not Last Assassin. Hey, it's not a new sub from you. Did you sub like during the interim? But yeah, welcome back, Last Assassin. I think you've subbed before. Oblivion DVDR, Malinhalia, and Critical Firm with 5 bits. It gets mentioned. Like, I see it regardless. X-Tommy Gone as well earlier on today. Thank you so much, guys. It does make a huge difference. And I'll see you tomorrow for some Overwatch. What time does... I think it literally starts during the stream, the competitive season, but we'll figure that out anyway. Right, and see you guys tomorrow. It's my pleasure. Toodles. Where's my outro scene? Outro scene! Now, music. Music. I don't have any music.